What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. We're live with the T5S2 Pod 12 Finals. We have a pretty classic matchup here. The pure hearts of the Adepta Sororitas versus the dastardly Chaos Demons. So it'll be one of our first Pod Finals with the full power Chaos Demons in representation. And unfortunately, one of our last, since they just got that FAQ hit just yesterday. And or the day before yesterday, I should say, Wednesday. And we probably won't see a list like this appear again. Although we'll see similar lists. It's not like this content is too out of date, but we will have to see a little bit more judicious builds out of the Chaos Demons. Players are deploying right now over here in the red. We have a Pod Finals regular. This is Rentar, a.k.a. AshC, versus player one. Over here, excuse me, that's in the blue. That's the blue side of the table. What am I doing? Versus player one in the red here. This is Eureka. Did not hit their score sheet, unfortunately, with their name tag. But playing the Chaos Demons. So excited to see these two players go head-to-head. Now, a little bit of a weirdness about this event. It did end up being relatively small. We are on the Oceania Pod pod waitlist for this one, so it is a little bit of a smaller player population than normal. And we actually had some drops earlier in the event, which led us to having only one undefeated after round 3. Eureka is currently 3-0. AshC coming into the game 2-1. So we may actually end up with no undefeated and having the first place player out of the pod get determined by tiebreakers this time around, which would be a little bit funky, but certainly not unheard of, especially for these smaller events. That said, Ash coming into the final games with a loss is pretty it's a little different. We normally don't see Ash's Valorous Heart Sisters go down that easily, and I guess actually I could look up what beat her. I do have that technology here, chat. Looks like
on the line, I see. Okay.
She lost round 1 to Christopher Rice, who was playing. Oh, a mirror match. It was a sisters mirror match. Of course it was. But that does make a ton of sense, though. To be fair, although Morven Vol turns off in a pretty big way against the. Against Valorous Heart, Valorous Heart Adepta Sororitas, since they can't be wound rerolled against. The mass armor cracking that Adepta Sororitas represent certainly does have the ability to punch through this this army. It was a sort of more of a standard Adepta Sororitas list. Bloody Rose, several units of Sisters Novitiate, 3 units of Sisters Repentia, its own Paragon Warsuit squad, a big squad of Sacrosancts. I imagine those were lethal. All those big, powerful 1-damage attacks versus the damage reduction on the Paragon Warsuits is probably pretty helpful. Alongside a huge Battle Sister squad, full 20, with 4 Artificer Crafted Stormbolters, as well as a Dominion squad, I believe, with Artificer. Is that right? No, just the Battle Sister squad. So we do have an outlet for Blessed Bolts as well. And I think we did see in the Season 5 Invitational, we saw Lord Solar play a very similar unit in his Adepta Sororitas Horde mode army. So anyway, let's talk about the lists that are in this game, though. That was the previous game. Thanks, everyone, for coming and hanging out. Daily Crossword. Nurgle Matt in chat. How's it going, everybody? Hope everyone's awake bright and early today. It's been a big day for content. It's a little bit unfortunate. I have some plans this evening, or this afternoon, I should say, for to work with another game. But there's so much 40k content. I'm going to be really, really pushed today to make some videos about it. Dark Tide open beta is open. New Necron Army of Renown just dropped, or spoiled, I guess. So very exciting day for 40k. Looks like players are going to be rolling to go first here. Chaos Demons in, or excuse me, that's Ash rolling in the Demons drop point with a 1, Demons in with a 5. So we're going to see Eureka going first here.
Okay, do you have any pre-games?
Nope.
Yeah, no pre-games for the Chaos Demons. Very straightforward, Chaos Demons. So let's talk about these lists here real quick here. So as Eureka is taking their first turn, we will take a quick look at their list.
3.
3 Warp Storm points for the first bound. That's fine. You probably just -1 to hit and then call it a day. This is a battalion detachment of Chaos Undivided. It has a Bloodthirster with a Blood Drinker Talisman, Indomitable Onslaught. So it's a Tank Thirster light, I guess we should call it. So it can only take 8 wounds a turn. Blood Drinker Talisman lets it kill models to regenerate wounds. Pretty good in the Adepta Sororitas matchup, except not against AshC's list, unfortunately. AshC's list is so low model count because everything is a vehicle. It doesn't actually give up that many kills for Blood Drinker Talisman. It does base on kills, not wounds. So you do have to actually murder people for that relic to trigger. We do have a Demon Prince of Chaos, although Eureka was telling me before the game that they were not that excited about the Demon Prince of Chaos. Where's he at? Is he chilling in Deep Strike? He is. Here he is. Got our old classic Demon Prince looking model here. Is that a Dawn of War 1 Demon Prince, chat? Gorgeous. This guy is toting Argath, the King of Blades.
Man,
I know if you've watched My Demon Games, you probably know that I like that guy with the Bloodthirster himself, but we're going to be putting it on the Demon Prince of Chaos. He has a Khorne Demon Prince, so he goes up to Khorne's number 8 attacks. So he has 8 4-damage attacks, strength 9, AP 3, which is good. That's a very good profile for a Smash character like this Demon Prince, and I think the impetus here, the use case, is that you can use him to trade for stuff that you would not necessarily want to expose a Bloodthirster or Be'lakor for, which I certainly understand. I don't know if he has fly, though. I think he might be a foot Demon Prince, which is a little sad. I believe that's an upgrade that we have to pay for on Chaos Demons, and it doesn't look like Eureka has purchased that. Looks like Eureka is trying to plan out their first turn movements here, so we do have a little bit more time to talk about what they're doing. Yeah, so wings are actually extremely expensive, 35 points. Holy crap, I didn't know that. All right, well, geez. Well, that makes total sense that we wouldn't buy that, I guess. But that means he is slow and he doesn't go through walls. But we could just Demonic Manifestation him. These Sisters units, mostly leadership 9. So we can cut that to 7 if Be'lakor gets up close and personal, or just drop next to Be'lakor and get some charges in. And that 4-damage swing does 2-shot Paragon Warsuits. We're not relying on rerolls or anything with the big Khorne Demons. We're just going for raw stats, so the Valorous Heart sub-faction buffs aren't actually that useful. We have a Fate Skimmer as well in that detachment. That's bringing Bolt of Change and Infernal Flame, so it's there to buff the Flamers generally. It has a Retinue of Horror, so it is +1 to cast as well. We have 2 units of Demonettes, 1 unit of Bloodletters, 1 unit of Nurglings as the troop slots for that detachment. 3 units of Flamers, 2 of 6, 1 of 5, so 17, not the full 18, but also 1 Exalted Flamer to give them +1 strength. That +1 strength is actually going to be relevant in this situation, chat, because the majority of AshC's army is T5. It's a little bit awkward getting use out of that, the +1 strength aura. Generally speaking, you actually find that it doesn't do that much, but in this case, because it's usually only useful against T5, 6, and 3 enemies, and those are pretty weird cutoffs. You don't often see those, but we are going to be seeing it today. Ash is in here with a ton of T5 models. You're good. Just thinking really hard about their turn 1 movements. I think Ash had forgotten to pass the time, looks like. Last but certainly not least, in that detachment, or in that list, excuse me, so that's the end of the detachment. The list has Be'lakor, the Dark Master himself, in his own Supreme Command. This is, just as a reminder, chat, I know there's going to be some comments in the comment section of the VOD when this gets uploaded. This event began pre-FAQ, pre-Codex FAQ, which means that Be'lakor still unlocks all the Allegiance abilities when he is in your list in a Supreme Command detachment. Obviously, post-FAQ, he will not, but because this is that was only changed on Wednesday, and this event started a month ago, then we will be using that rule. So we do have access to all of the Warp Storms on Eureka's side of the table. Moving over to AshC's list. This is her particular brand of Adepta Sororitas, and this list has been relatively unchanged for almost a year at this point, I think. She's played essentially the same thing, although she has dabbled around with a ton of different factions. just to sort of increase her repertoire. Obviously, this Adepta Sororitas list is doing well for her, and I know she's been playing it in in-person events over in Singapore. They're relatively small right now, but their scene's getting bigger and bigger, and Ash is a big part of it. So we have a Valorous Heart Battalion detachment that's being led by Morvenval as the Warlord with her Warlord trait, so she does full reroll in melee. Ephrail Stern and Kaiganil, two characters we don't see that often. Usually in place of them we see Celestine, but Celestine obviously costs another 80 points, and she doesn't have a smite on the stick. Not to mention the fact that Ephrail Stern ignores invulnerable saves easily without the need for trying to get, weird Miracle Dice shenanigans to roll 6s to convert your attacks to mortal wounds. She just punches through invulnerable saves, which makes her really useful in a lot of matchups. Not this one, though, because these demons are using demonic invulnerability instead of normal invulnerable saves, so her sword will do nothing. We have also 3 Battle Sister squads in that detachment. Revitiate. Thank you for the follow, sir, or ma'am, or them. We have 3 units of Paragon Warsuits, 3 apiece, those with multi-meltas and Stormbolters. I think the classic loadout for Paragon Warsuits. A Preacher with the Sigil Ecclesiasticus. That one has, of course, some Spiritual Fortitude to make one of these units immune to Psychic Powers. Not as useful in this matchup as we would see for a lot of demon lists that include Lords of Change or multiple Fate Skimmers. So this one's not relying quite as heavily on the Mortal Wound output during the Psychic phase, as we would often see, but still going to be very useful. We also have in that heavy support slot there a Castigator with autocannons and its triple heavy bolters, alongside 2 units of mortifiers with a mix of flails and buzz blades, both with anchorite sarcophagi. Occasionally we do see Ash with a with an individual mortifier as well, but it looks like that's not in this list. I think she has to take double detachments to unlock that. I don't know if we talked about it, but we also have a Dogmata in that elite slot with the Refrain of Blazing Piety. It's going to be super useful in this matchup. Does an automatic 3 mortal wounds to a unit, the closest visible enemy within 12. And if it is a Chaos unit, they take a flat 3 instead of D3, which is the case for this entire Chaos Demons army. So it looks like, I think Eureka very appropriately screening that hit with the Flamers here.
8+12.
Trying to keep outside of range of these Paragon Warsuits, do maximum damage.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that Dogmata, absolutely crucial for the style of this, because it grants the Paragon Warsuits objective secured, or a core unit, objective secured. And the Paragon Warsuits are core, because they're basically little dreadnoughts. Which means that they can run in and dominate the center objective and really hold it down. Really, really quick movement phase here, it looks like. So movement phase, we put 1 Flamer unit up top. We put teleported another one Shrouded Step to the bottom here. Not actually going to be taking any attacks on the Eureka side. I just passed the turn, looks like.
Are we done?
Yep.
That was quick.
Which button is that?
Sir Dingley Dan, can you post a Zinch and Knight soup list to get my thoughts?
Generate a 5 for
I mean, I guess so. I
my
don't have too much to say about Knights, to be honest, but I can take a look.
+1 attack.
How does everybody feel about that Army of Renown that just dropped, chat, though? Also, is anybody in the Darktide beta? I want to... So I only have a couple hours today to play around with, but I want to stream some Darktide content. And I'm going to be in and out of the of my office this week, but I might stream some content over the weekend. So if anybody wants to come join me in the grimdark future of Darktide, come hang out with me. Oh, this is just one Chaos Knight, Jet? I think, man, I think this list has real trouble with objective secured. It's only pink and blue horrors, which are not the toughest to kill units in the game. Guess you're trying to table your opponent. I do like the combination of Chaos Knights and Chaos Demons, because Chaos Demons like long-range shooting, and Knights can bring that to the table. So there's definitely a synergy there. But I I when you said that, it was a mix there. I sort of assumed that it was flamers plus war dogs, but that's not what we're seeing. So Ash moving up pretty aggressively here with a Battle Sister squad. Basically just going to be using them to body block positions for the flamers and grabbing that objective. I guess we're not actually body blocking positions to the flamers. We do have the full reroll buff from Morven Vol enacted on this Paragon Warsuit squad. I'm going to be moving him into the terrain to get line of sight to the flamers. The demons are very difficult to kill with shooting in the Paragon Warsuits. Oh, no, we're just advancing. Just kidding. Okay. Oh, this is Mortifier team, chat. I'm sorry. Totally misread the board state here. That makes sense. Unfortunately for the Mortifiers, their heavy flamers are heavy weapons, which means they aren't going to be able to fire their guns. But these Paragon Warsuits, like I was saying, actually have a pretty good profile shooting at flamers. They do have a Strength 8 big gun, which the flamer can shrug on their 3+ demonic and vulnerability save to ranged attacks. So that's not too bad, and the Chaos Demons, as we can see already, at 6 CP, have tons of CP to reroll that if we want to. But they also they represent mass Stormbolter fire, so each of them carries 2 Stormbolters, so each model is firing 2 rapid-fire 2 weapons for a total of 8 shots within 12 inches. And with Morven Vol's buff, who I imagine we'll see pushed up here as well, they get full rerolls for them. So they're hitting on maybe 3s or 4s, probably hitting on 3s, winning on 4s, full rerolls, so you should convert. Most of those, probably 20 wounds, which means you probably kill 2 flamers with the Stormbolters alone, and that's before you see if you convert any of the multi-multi shots. So pretty effective. The other thing, benefit that Sisters have against in this Chaos Demons matchup is they get blown up by Overwatch quite a bit, but which is the second danger of the flamers, right? Their shooting is so powerful within 12 inches, and then they can Overwatch you and automatically hit with another shot if you don't deal with Overwatch somehow. So we're seeing the necessity for Overwatch tech coming back into the 40k meta. It sort of left for a while because there weren't really any units in the metagame that Overwatched efficiently, and now the flamers absolutely do. So if you're playing Tyranids, you take Paroxysm. If you I just played against Moo Moo Cow on stream yesterday. He took Suppressing Fire on his Swooping Hawk Exarch, which was absolutely solid technology against Chaos Demons. Suppressors I could even see get brought into the game as well, just to be able to prevent that flamer Overwatch from going off. The benefit that Adepta Sororitas have here, they don't have any sort of Overwatch ignoring mechanics innately, but they do have Miracle Dice, which means that oftentimes they can set up in really weird positions with models that are out of line of sight or range of the flamers. So, for example, you can put one model within, say 10 inches of a flamer, but out of line of sight. The rest of the unit is outside 12 of that flamer unit. Nothing is eligible to fire back at you if you Overwatch, and you can Miracle Dice a charge to automatically contact them with that unit. So you could potentially be engaging flamers with things like characters or Battle Sisters, and that's going to prevent them from Overwatching your more valuable units like Mortifiers or Paragon Warsuits. Yeah, I do think it is a neat list, Dan, for sure. I think I would be a little bit more excited about playing like triple autocannon war dogs. What are those ones called? The autocannon guys are executioners, is that right? Something like that. And because they give you 3 instances of objective secured, and they give you that long range shooting that you really want in Demons. At least to force people's heads down. One thing that you'll notice playing Demons a lot is that people see your Demons, they screen really efficiently against the Flamers, and then the rest of their army just gets to do whatever they want. But if you have to screen the Flamers out and you have to protect everybody behind line of sight blockers, it actually stifles your movement in a big way. It is Executioners? I nailed it. I'm so smart. Nailing it. So, Ephrail, Stern, Kaiganil getting Chorus and Spiritual Fortitude, so they're going to be immune to Psychic Powers. The rest of the army has a 5+ against Mortals, but again, we don't have a great number of Psychic Powers here.
Okay, shooting phase.
Ephrail, Stern, and Kaiganil are -1 to be wounded, so they're a little bit tough for Flamers to kill, although if the Flamer unit connects, they should probably die. There are only 9 wounds between them. Or 11, excuse me, 11 wounds.
Meltas.
So here goes, firing into the Flamers with the
I got a 12.
Paragons.
I'm sending my 3 Warp Star from -1.
Oh. Okay. Hold on.
Yeah, that makes sense here.
I
Don't
missed
need it
one.
for any of the other abilities this turn.
So I only get 1 wound.
We don't have a gaze in the army, so we don't have any way to hold it between rounds.
Say fails.
CP that.
Ooh.
1 damage.
So Ash converting a multi-melt ahead here onto a flamer unit, but rerolling a 1 into a 1. That sucks. That's a CP burn you don't really want to experience. Looking like 3 wounds going through with the Stormbolter. Can we kill a flamer? It does! Alright, fair enough. The Demon's Luck has so far failed. Interesting that Eureka didn't elect to CP reroll that Melta shot. You definitely want to keep as many flamers alive as possible, especially if they're in a compromising position like this. This unit is going to get plastered by this Castigator, and I believe the Castigator is within 12. Yeah, I almost wonder if Eureka should have removed the flamer on the other side of the flamer on the let's see if my Telestrator's on the left side of the unit, because it looks like we could have actually pulled that Castigator outside 12 inches. It looks like it's within 12 inches now, but if we'd pulled the flamer that was here, that actually would have imposed the -1 to hit penalty from the Warp Storm.
Damage?
Just 1. Just 2 damage.
2 damage? Okay.
So it looks like 1 more hit goes through from the Heavy Bolter.
And that's it for shooting.
No autocannon shots going through. Didn't quite kill it.
That's
Gonna see if Ash can charge with the Castigator.
plus.
Yeah, so if we can charge into the Nurglings, let's take a look at her Miracle Pool. She has a 10. She has a 10. So it looks like the game plan here would be to charge into the Nurglings, pile and consolidate, touch the Flamer unit. Really punishing this aggressive play from Eureka. But obviously you don't know the entirety of your Miracle dice once you are moving on your own turn. So it looks like Paragon's failing into the Nurglings. And I think we did Miracle that charge. Yeah, we did.
Nurglings are not obsec, right?
They are not.
Yeah, so then the Castigator swings its big bulk over, touches the Flamer unit, and unfortunately the only way we have to quote-unquote fall back and shoot for Flamers is Be'lakor, who's pretty far away. And in order to Shrouded Step that unit, he's going to have to move not only into danger. The anti-reroll effect that Be'lakor has is going to be pretty good against hit rolls, but obviously it doesn't work against wounds. So if you point enough multi-meltas at him, eventually he'll die.
They don't take wounds, right? They just either die or they don't die.
But that does mean that this Flamer unit probably is inoperable this coming turn, unless Be'lakor wants to push really far forward. And if he goes forward, then he is in range of 4+ denies, potentially. So he could expose himself and be in an aggressive position, and still not get his power off, which would be a little bit awkward. But at least you bleed your opponent a CP.
I don't even know what their safe in melee is. It's a 6. So they take
Sir
both.
Dingley Dan been playing a
Alright.
list of executioners.
Shuffle.
Triple
away.
Executioner, Lord of Change, Be'lakor. Zinj Detachment with 3 units of Flamers, Exalted, Blue Horse.
Which I believe
I love
is
this
out of
list, actually.
smuggling range.
This is a list I like.
I just get to punch you with some flamers.
Indeed.
I do love Lords of Change, Dingley Dan. I'm missing a Herald in that list. I like Be'lakor plus the Herald feels like so good because you get all the powers off every turn, but and you can do like second.
Did you think you would ever see a Castigator try melee tie down a bunch of flamers?
Nope.
So here comes the Flamers with their punching. 2 wounds. See if
2.
we can
No
actually do
AP.
any damage to this guy. If we had the Warp Storm points, you could do mortal wounds on wound roll 6. It's actually not too bad for Flamers too. All right.
Alright.
Well, I think that, despite the fact that we didn't actually really kill anything, I think that was overall very strong turn for Ash, because she does have that Flamer unit pinned. That said, we do have reinforcements coming in this turn. We do have 1 unit of Flamers on Eureka's half of the table over here, chilling with Be'lakor, alongside a bunch of Bloodletters and the Demon Prince of Chaos in reserve. Now, for the folks in chat who have not seen Chaos Demons in operation yet, first off, watch out my videos. I've been playing them for ages. They're super good. But the models in reserve here are in a special type of reserve that demons have access to called Demonic Manifestation. So they can come in wholly within their deployment zone, outside 3 inches of enemies, in the no man's land, so outside both players' deployment zones, the leadership value of enemies away. So every unit, instead of screening 9, effectively screens whatever their leadership value is. And that is mutable, because Chaos Demons do have some ways to reduce leadership value, especially within 6 inches. Although they can, for Warp Storm points, extend that aura. So we could be seeing these models set up 8 or 7 inches away from Adepta Sororitas. That doesn't work in the enemy deployment zone, however, they have to deep strike normally in the enemy deployment zone. But the other option they have to them is deploying wholly within 6 of Be'lakor and 6 inches outside people, because he has the Warp Locust keyword. So the question is where we see these demons start to come down. We could see Be'lakor do a big push and act as a teleport homer for these big demons. So potentially we could see Be'lakor even, run up to this position right in the center here, and then drop the Bloodthirster and the Demon Prince down and just get pushing. Now, Ash does have Assassination on her secondary list, so pushing the Bloodthirster and the Demon Prince and Be'lakor all into one spot is probably exactly what Ash wants. That said, she'd have to eat the charge from them, and she has to eat this sort of beta strike from the Flamers. If Be'lakor gets his Shrouded Step off, Eureka could push this red unit of Flamers with a teleport over and also hit that flank, and we could see that whole flank collapse for Ash. If we see potentially Flamers kill the Mortifiers, I think 1 to 2 Flamer units should be able to do that pretty easily. And then maybe ding up the other Paragons, and we see the Bloodthirster and the Demon Prince go ham on those Paragons, and I think things could go very poorly for Ash pretty quickly. That said, Ash currently scoring a 15 on primary, or a 12, excuse me, on primary, and there's not really anything to stop her. Unless we see Bloodletters drop into the Objective 3 to prevent that from scoring. Looks like we may be angling to try to get Bloodletters onto Objective 4. You have to be worried about these Mortifiers, though. They do all have heavy Flamers, so they do fire Overwatch almost as effectively as, Siege Flamers. Wonder if you could drop them here so that there's no line of sight and then charge through. I think that might be the game plan. So it actually does look like Be'lakor is going to be pushing out to that position we said before. Oh, maybe not. There we go. Go get him, Be'lakor. Just a normal move. We could advance. I don't know if Be'lakor is going to be declaring a charge this turn. Although if he is, that would be amazing. Yeah, it's a 7-inch charge, so maybe we see him drop in. It is 6 inches away for the big demons anyway, so their position isn't going to make a huge difference. By the way, chat, we didn't talk about secondary objectives. We have Chaos over here with Despoilers of Reality. So it's the Chaos Demons Shadow Operations secondary, which requires them to perform a full round action on objectives outside their deployment zone, which unfortunately is a lot of riders on top of an action secondary to make it particularly useful. You can do it multiple times per turn, which is the big benefit of it. And you can do it to any infantry units can do it. So you can do it with the Demonettes, you can do it with the Flamers, which is usually the game plan. Sort of plan A for demon armies a lot of times is to table their opponent, and then plan B is to score secondaries after that. If we can get any secondaries for killing stuff, like we have Bring It Down here, which Ash just gives up full pretty easily on, then that's going to tick up passively over the course of the game, but the Despoilers of Reality is hard to max. It's 4 points each time the action is completed on an objective marker outside your deployment zone, so we need to do it 4 times to max it. We might get 12 if we get lucky. I think the downside here, and Eureka might be kicking themselves a little bit, that they didn't have a Demonette squad here. There is a position where the Demonettes can deploy there, and because they're so fast, that's kind of the use case. I don't know what these pop-ups are, chap. The use case of the Demonettes is their base speed is so high that they can actually perform actions really, really effectively. So what we can do is we could see this unit deployed up here. Force Ash to not... If she wants to shoot them and goes first, she can't advance, and it's going to be at -1. So into a 4+ demonic invulnerability save. So there's a non-zero chance that unit doesn't even die if she gets shot at, and then it can go up and perform the Despoilers on this objective if Eureka goes first. But Eureka played very cagey. Basically denied themselves that objective. Now, the mission tertiary for this mission is to steal objectives from your opponent or kill enemies on objectives, which is also why we saw those Nurglings at the beginning of the game deploy off of objective number 4, because they could then move on and immediately score. That is another benefit of that play, where if you're not on the bottom right objective as a demon player, you can move up and take your top left and score that tertiary anyway. But Ash was going to move up aggressively in response anyway, so she was going to get those tertiary points regardless. Looks like Fate's camera moving up, trying to get lookout surged by the Demonettes. Big beefy thing to get lookout surged, to be honest. Almost feels like it should be like 12 wounds and just unobscurable. But, you know, there it is. We got the character protection going. Does it score well, chat? We'll see. I guess it is objectives you control, right? Yeah, so you can do it when enemies are on it. So right now, I imagine that the Demonettes have moved up to the position that they're in to not only hold out on the middle objective, but also attempt to perform that action and force Ash to deal with them. So we may get one off that. From there, things get a little bit awkward because I think Eureka stealing objectives from Ash is going to be a little bit tough. Obviously, the Bloodletters are pretty good at it. They can jump in, although it's unlikely they'll be able to jump in on an objective unless Bellacor's nearby. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Yeah, there's not too many other amazing secondary options for demons. Reality Rebels is incredible. I've actually been kind of enjoying Nourish by Terror. It's it's sort of a meme, but it is a passive scorer. Especially if Bellacor's in the mix. Most armies will give up like 7 or 8 on it. It's not necessarily for models running away, but you can also score points when you destroy enemy units. And in an MSU-style army like this, a 50% chance to kill basically every unit in the army when the army has so many individual units is actually pretty good. Yeah. Indeed, Nurglemat. I think we are of the same mind. I don't hate the Spoilers of Reality. I think Banner's is a little bit more consistent, though. The big benefit, or the second benefit of the Spoilers of Reality is that it scores like aerospace targeting relays from Tau Empire, where it completes at the end of the game and can be performed multiple times per turn. So if you're at that stage where you're tabling someone, you can just do it on all of the objectives all at once to max it. You do have to get to that point, though, and I think people are better and better as the game goes on about playing against Chaos Demons and making that not happening. Making that not happening, that's not English. Making that happen less frequently. Moving over to Ash's side of the table. We're taking a long movement phase here for Chaos Demons. Really taking our time to think about things. I do think Ash put Eureka in a little bit of an awkward position. I'm not sure Eureka expected the Miracle Charge to 10 on the Castigator charge there to engage a Flamer unit. I think that must have surprised them. So it looks like Flamer's moving up actually to shoot at Ephrael and Kaiganel. Oh, man. If we don't get Infernal Flames off... The benefit of the Flamers in this matchup is that their profile is pretty good against T5 enemies, right? Because they're Strength 5 and they have the Exalted Flamer nearby, so they can get the +1. The downside is that there's so much of it that Flamers do kind of need a consistent +1 to wound in order to consistently knock through the 2+ armor save + armor contempt. So these models are saving at 3s that they're shooting at. Ephrael Stern and Kaiganel here are also innately -1 to be wounded. So they're effectively also T5 to these Flamers. So the Flamer's going to be wounding them on 4s into a 4+ infall and into, at least on Kaiganel, a 5+ damage ignore. So there's a non-zero chance they just don't kill Ephrael Stern, and Ephrael Stern is a nightmare for this demon army. Just because of the fact that she's going to be passively doing mortal wounds to them, and then also is effective in melee. More of a nightmare if she actually ignored their invulnerable saves, but she doesn't, so sorry. Speaking of the secondary objectives, chat, Ash on the other side of the table taking Assassination. So scoring points for killing characters, pretty easy. There are 5 characters in the Demon Army. It's a big downside of the Demon Prince. Probably one of the reasons Eureka was saying that he didn't like it. Because he is an aggressive Smash character that costs kind of a lot of points and gives up Assassination really easily. I think I did call Demon Prince as an honorable mention in my best cast Demons units, but I'm not sure that that's actually panned out. I got some anecdotal reports that Demon Princes were performing very well, and they seemed pretty good. But I don't know if they actually ended up being strong. Otherwise, I kind of stand by that list. I think that list was pretty good. We have... Looks like we have cut Leap of Faith from the Sororitas arsenal for secondaries here. Assassination, I think, is going to be more of a consistent score for Ash, and it doesn't dictate her Miracle Dice spend. The one downside that you find with Leap of Faith is that you're often spending Miracle Dice frivolously, and even spending them on like unpassable saving throws and things like that, just to say that you spent them, and that always gets a little awkward. Here comes a Bloodthirster, so we're just going ham this turn. Ooh, might have mispositioned our Demonettes a little bit. It's an awkward place. I think these flavors are really, because they're strung back to the exalted flamer. Excuse me, they're strung back to an awkward position. I'm actually not sure that we have a good place for that that Bloodthirster. Okay, Demon Prince has lots of places to go. He's small. Are we leaving the Bloodthirster in reserve this turn? Ooh. And we are bringing the Bloodletters in. So I think I might have liked to see the Bloodthirster, the Bloodletters, excuse me, remain in Deep Strike for a turn, because you can use them to steal an objective away and then perform Despoilers of Reality on them on the objective. Looks like we may be angling for a charge into Ephraim and Kaigano, but also getting rid of the Sororitas objective secured is very important. So killing the Battle Sisters here, although the Dogmata is still there to give these Paragon Warsuits objective secured. I think the hope is that if the Bloodletters get into the Battle Sisters and remove them, the Demon Prince plus maybe some shooting removes the Paragons over here, then that will leave Ash without a good outlet for that objective secured. But it looks like the Bloodthirster did not actually end up having space to deploy on the table. The other thing you could do, I guess, is deploy it in your deployment zone and go for the long charge here. That might be a 7 or an 8. And 8 is Korn's number, which means you have a really good chance of rolling it. That's how math works, I think. I think taking a time to consider. The downside of Demons is that... Oh. So I think we put the Nurgling Swarm within 6 of this unit, so they are -1 leadership right now, so they're not a leadership 7. That's too close. Yeah, there you go. So I might just go for a 7 in charge here. The awkward part is if those Flamers boss you on Overwatch, obviously they can't kill you, right? Because you're 20 wounds, which is pretty strong, and are 8 wound face capped. But if they boss you, even if they do 4 damage, that removes a whole face cap from you. And then a Paragon Warsuit team has an actual pretty good chance of just killing that Bloodthirster, which feels a little bad, especially since we don't have the 5+ damage ignore from Brazenhide in this list. That's one change that we may see a lot of time in a lot of lists in the future, chat. If we continue to bring Be'lakor, he just is a normal model in a regular detachment, and then we see the Demon Prince get, the Bloodthirster, excuse me, get upgraded to the Warlord. Check the science. That is how math works. Thank you, chat.
Also, change is not closest. 18-inch visible.
Yeah, that is targetable. Pretty useful for that psychic power, for sure.
I'll bolt to change this squad of Paragons.
That tells me nothing, but okay.
That's it. I don't know. $96. 5.
Hell of a bolt to change right there. That's brutal. They have a 5+ damage ignore against that. 3 mortal wounds going through still, though. Would have blinked for another one if we'd failed one more of those 5 damage ignores. Dang. All right. That's solid. Makes the Demon Prince's job a lot easier. Removes an entire requirement for attack out of him. Can we finish that Paragon Warsuit off with this might? It'd be nice. Don't know if the Fate Skimmer cast Infernal Flames. Might have failed it. It is a 7. It's a little bit tough. Tough if you don't have a Lord of Change.
You want to teleport Be'lakor?
He wants to teleport himself back here.
No.
If only. I don't think that's legal.
Alright, so he's just gonna smite. Go off on a
I know
5.
this is going to be inconsequential, but you need to.
Ah, it's too close. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yep. Sorry, what was this?
That's Mike.
Bills. What's my
Yeah.
blocked?
Denied. And then I'll attempt his debuff power, which fails. Alright. Shooting phase. I'll start off by using a Warp Storm.
Oh, wow. Gonna use the Cornet Warp Storm here to deal mortal wounds to everything within 24. That's kind of memey. But we did roll 5 Warp Storm points this turn, I believe. So we have a couple extra to spend, although you could spend for the +1 attack, which I think I might have done, honestly.
Probably the corn one.
Don't know what we're using to keep Warp Storm points. Yeah. Yeah, I think the Warp Storm, the Corn Warp Storm's a little memey, especially against Valorous Heart. They have a 5+ against it. It does roll 1d6 for each unit within 24, and on a 6, deal them d3 mortal wounds, unless they're completely within terrain.
Not fully within terrain and are within 24 inches of the Corn Demon, I roll a d6, and on a 6, they take d3 mortal wounds. Which is...
As Eureka just explained.
Whole army.
That's not
Except for these guys.
There you slander them. They worked very hard to get there. They rolled a 6 on their attack.
Castigator. No. Just gonna move Castigator from Castigator to across the board. So Mortifiers.
Okay.
No. Paragons. No. Sisters in the back. No. The characters in the middle. No. And sisters next to them. No.
There's a character
Dogmata.
there.
The character there. Preacher.
Turn my microphone up a little bit, chat.
No.
Let me know if that sounds better. Looks like I'm a little quiet.
Dogmata. No. Paragons. No. Next
Morven.
Paragons. No. And Mortifiers. Nope.
And Morven.
Oh, and Morven. Nope. They all fail.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's
Okay.
sounds about right for that Warp Storm ability. It's very dicey
actual
for all
shooting.
6s. And I think I might have preferred just to save that for the +1 attack. I think we're down to 3 only for Eureka, which does make things a little bit tough.
And the Mortifiers will be 9 plus 9, 18. And I am strength 6 to your toughness 5, so wounding on 3s. Rerolling 1s from the Herald. AP2.
Alright. 4 ups. Four ups.
Mhm.
4 ups. 4 ups. 4 up. And then 5 ups on the pin. Anchorite takes 4 damage.
Mhm. And then Paragons.
So
11,
Ash
20.
slow rolling out here in order to allocate saves to the Anchorite correctly, but also we're going to see a lot of slow rolling this game just to manipulate the dice after the fact, like sisters
Can't reroll.
want
I can't reroll. Okay. Well, good thing I failed anyways.
Alright, so these are 3 ups.
Mhm.
Kill 2. Honestly, if you go for them, I'm not sure about that. It's fine.
Yeah, so trying to remove that
next
model,
up,
that unit that's next to the
Red Flamers
red
shoot
motto.
the characters.
Okay.
So here goes shots into Ephraim and Kaiganel. This is going to be a little tough. See if they can get through.
Deal
That -1 to wound is a big deal.
18 is 38.
It's actually really unlikely we kill more than Kaiganel here.
They are also strength 6, so I'll be wounding on
Threes.
2s. 3s? Oh, -1 to wound. Alright,
Mhm.
3s. No rerolls.
Okay, so 4-ups.
Ooh, that was a bad saving throw, though. 15 wounds going through. I think that actually might get him.
5 up. 5 up. 5 up. Okay,
So,
they did.
yeah, Kaiganel eats the first couple, and the rest will spill onto Ephraim's turn. That's unfortunate.
Did-
I think there was a chance there
Right.
that
Did you
Ephraim
have
and
any
Kaiganel
plus
survived.
to them from psychic stuff?
Oh, no. No
Okay.
pluses. Just the +1 strength aura from the Exalted Flamer.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, the Exalted Flamer is going to shoot the remaining Paragon. This 18-inch flamer. Which is 3 shots.
Interesting shot here onto that one Paragon. I guess the Demon Horse actually does have a good charge into the second Paragon Warsuit unit.
Are you minus to hit?
No.
Okay, I'll hit. Winding on 3s. 2 wounds. AP 4.
5 ups.
He steals 1. It's technically 2, but -1 damage steals 1.
Oh.
Or, oh wait, no, I'm getting them confused.
Yeah,
the
that's
Fate
3
Skimmer's 2,
damage.
he's 3.
Yeah.
So I'll deal 2.
Nailed it.
Okay.
And the Fate Skimmer will shoot the same guy.
So far, so good. Good shooting phase from the Chaos Demons. I think this turn has turned around to be pretty good for Demons, even if they don't get charges off too well.
1 wound.
We will still be pretty
AP 4.
happy with the amount of damage that we've dealt. Paragon Warsuit down to 1 does mean that I think the Demon Prince has to go deal with it,
Right.
which is a little bit awkward.
They can't shoot, so that's everybody.
Alright, and the shooting will generate a miracle for losing a character, which is a 2. Okay.
Charges. Start with the Bloodthirster into the Mortifiers.
Alright. Overwatch.
Yeah, so Mortifier, Overwatch. We don't need to do 8 damage here for this to be beneficial for Ash. We only need to do 4, and that was a hell of a shot roll there. Holy crap.
This is 10.
Yep.
20, 32.
32 wounds. So we are winning on 5s. Should only get what, like 10 to
5s.
11? 12, there you go.
And Force.
Saving on 4s here.
Take 7.
And almost totally phase caps it. Ow! Not to mention the fact that these Mortifiers do have the ability to do mortal wounds and or fight on death.
Is it?
Which can mean that we could phase cap the Bloodthirster again on the Demon's own turn. Which means that
Next up,
that
the
Bloodthirster is not long for this world once those Paragon Warsuits go to activate the coming turn. So that actually, that is a big deal here, and the fact that we didn't fall back these Flamers does mean that they're going to be locked in for another turn, so the we have, you know, the potential to charge those into those guys as well and
6-way.
start to do actual damage to them. Plus the caster guard can just fire into melee. to continue to plow them for damage too. That does open up the possibility that Eureka pulls out of melee, and then they're able to overwatch, but they're going to be so reduced at that point that I'm not sure it matters that much, that big of a deal. So here comes the Demon Prince. Yeah, making sure Morvenval is probably has the potential to trigger a heroic intervention, but probably can't engage anything. You don't have to engage things with heroic interventions. That is a little bit of a misconception among the community.
7-inch on the Paragon squad.
But you can declare them. The downside is that it means you are targetable by chargers in that subsequent fight phase. So you get 3 inches of movement towards the closest enemy. But the downside is obviously that those any other enemies nearby, or even that enemy, could attack and kill you before your turn comes. And especially in a situation like this where you may be overkilling this unit. It is pretty useful. Although Bellicore does have a little bit of an awkward profile against the Paragon Warsuits. He does have to roll the full 6, I think, damage to one-shot one, so he probably doesn't kill the unit by himself. He plus the Demon Prince does, but it opens up the possibility for an interrupt. Not sure that the interrupt's going to be too useful in this case, just because the Paragon Warsuits don't have super high strength weapons, so they're going to be winning on 6s, I believe. They're only strength 6. Yeah, strength 6.
This is the first time you're using this character in games we've played.
No, I've had her in pretty much every single list.
Oh, really?
She gives out OPSEC. This one has 3-inch aura of -1 toughness, -1 strength.
I mean, we haven't played in like over 3 months. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been,
can confirm, Ash has been playing Dogmatas for a really long time.
Probably because I just died by turn 3. She never did anything. I'm just gonna go for the sisters, and I'm gonna use one CP for Banner of Blood.
Okay, so doing the 3d6 charge. There's a boxcars for the Bloodletters. Get him in on there. Could have declared the Dogmata, actually, and that would have been a pretty big deal. Although the -1 strength doesn't matter in this case, because they are only strength 5. Yeah, so would have loved to see the +1 attack in this fight phase, chat, because it buffs the Demon Prince, it buffs the Bellicore, and it buffs literally every unit that's melee right now. So that would have been a ton of additional damage on the Sisters army. Although, to be fair, the Bloodletters probably don't need the help, but I do think Bellicore and the Bloodthirster will. Especially since the Bloodthirster is not running Argath, King of Blades. So he has only 2 damage if he makes little swings. So he's going to make big swings onto the Mortifiers, and that gives Ash the opportunity to save out of his attacks. So now the question becomes, Ash is representing an interrupt here. The question becomes whether or not, or what we fight first with. And I think it has to be the Demon Prince, because the Demon Prince is eminently killable. He is only T6. He's eminently killable by this Paragon Warsuit team. And if the Paragon Warsuits kill him, that's a big swing. The downside there is that you open an interrupt onto Bellicore, which you don't really care about, but you do open an interrupt onto the Bloodthirster, and that could potentially bracket the Bloodthirster and reduce its effectiveness significantly. So Dingley Dan tried to explain to a judge at Nova and told you were wrong. Yeah, chat. Nova judging is, you know, judges aren't professionals in 40k. That's all I can say about that. And that's not a dig on people who don't donate their time to make events more, run more smoothly. But rules knowledge sometimes is not required to become a judge, especially at Nova. I think I've told the story in a video before, but the first time I played in the Nova GT, the only time, which was 2019, I'd been playing for maybe a month, I think, and I made a video about it on the channel, so you can go watch that. I was judged by... I had a game judged by Robin Credis. I played a game on a GW stream, which is cool, which is a shit show. I killed my opponent so quickly that we made up like special objectives for ourselves. But that wasn't the game in question. The question that I had was an event-specific rule, because the way that they had Nova had to be special, because they've got, that's just how they have to be. They can't use ITC rules. They have to make their own version of ITC. The way they worded their recon was such that it didn't prevent multiple table quarters from being scored, which is basically engaged in all fronts, by the way. They didn't prevent multiple table quarters from being scored using a single model, which meant that I had put a character in the direct center of the table, and because it didn't have like an exclusion zone, and it didn't require the model to be wholly within the table quarter, the character was on all 4 table quarters at the direct center of the table, and we just scored the entire. We just max the secondary every turn. And I confirmed with the judge in my first game, and I did that, and I won my first game. And then my second game, my opponent called a judge on me, and they ruled the exact opposite. And the judge there was Robin Credis. He was the head designer for 40k. And I was like, okay, man. Oh, that was the judge. The judge of the first game, excuse me, was Robin Credis. And I give him a little bit of credit because it is an event-specific rule, and he doesn't know the answer. But I do think that the event needed to get its shit together. Yeah. I think it's probably less... I don't know. I feel like it's less okay that they didn't know the event-specific rule than the actual rule. Anyway, let's get back to this game. This is a very important fight phase.
from the relic sword, because it's damage 4.
Okay, so we're fighting into the Paragon
Talon
Warsuit
attack.
with the Demon Prince. Put the Talon attack into the big unit. Really? Okay.
Wounds, I think. Yeah, wounds. It's only AP1. So did 2 safe.
So it looks like killed the wounded Paragon Warsuit, puts 3 into another Paragon Warsuit, and I imagine we see an interrupt here onto the Bloodthirster.
I'll go with the Bloodthirster next.
No. No interrupts. Excuse me? What? Bracket that guy.
Mortal ones on death.
Oh, okay,
Yep.
we're just going to do fight on death, I guess. I guess they do have the ability to fight on death, but it is a potential. It could happen. It could fail.
8.
Reading is hard, for sure, chat. I agree. Especially 40k rolls.
Yeah.
We can talk about that
Twos.
that Necron AOR later. That is a hard AOR to read.
2s.
There goes 7
7
wounds through
wounds.
onto the Mortifiers. That was a good roll. Imagine if that guy was bracketed only on 3s, though. That would have been way worse.
-4, so anchor it, and 6 out. 6 out. Damage.
D3 plus 3. For 5.
6, 2.
Nice.
3, 6 out. 6 out.
Okay.
Damage.
4.
Oh my
down to
God.
8, down to 2.
Look at
6
these damage ignore rolls, chat. AshC's bossing saves in these Mortifiers. It probably takes 2 swings from the Bloodthirster to kill them, so only 7 wounds through is actually unlikely to wipe the unit. That one does
and
kill
then
one.
Damage for the other ones.
I have to do them 1 at a time, right?
Yep.
Next one deals 6.
Alive, 1 wound.
And that'll be 5.
Dies. What is this? Do I let them get to fight?
They both.
Oh
get to
no.
fight?
So only kills 2 Mortifiers and both of them
Thank you,
swing on
Mac.
death. So this unit will basically get an interrupt here.
No
Mhm.
minus, right?
As
No
good as
minus.
his turn was for Demons, this fight has been a disaster here. Oh my god, look at
5,
these rolls.
3, 6.
Oh, okay, well that wasn't very good. Okay, well, you know, it is what it is.
Mortals. One of them does
That was
do
1
3.
flail and 1 buzzblade. Is
One
there?
more
Oh no,
one.
both flails.
Okay.
Then blinks are 1. But we will get the buzzblades in. Those are the actual big
then-
strength. Strength 8, so they have a much better chance to
When I
win.
finish fighting, I deal D3 mortal wounds on a 2-up. He fails. And then I killed 2 models, so 2 dice on a 5-up. If I get back a wound, I
Blood
don't
Drinker
get.
Talisman does not work. It's a vehicle, of course. There's no blood. There's
Alright.
only a little bit of blood. It's mostly motor oil, so Blood Drinker Talisman. Having a little bit of trouble. Alright, Belly Boy. Can you kill a Paragon Warsuit unit? I actually don't think you can. I'm going to call it here, chat. I don't think Bellicor does this. I think he flubs.
I'll just be doing big swings.
Situation is that you had a Turbogon that could heroic but not end up engagement range. If they did a second charge, then it would have been able to reach engagement. I was told you couldn't heroic the first time. Yeah, heroic happens at the end of the charge phase, chat. So they have to fully resolve all of their charges before your heroic intervention triggers. They don't get to know whether or not you can heroic, or you know, All of the charges should be on the table when heroic interventions get measured. Not really sure how that situation arises, to be honest.
AP4.
It's a separate step.
5 ups.
So 5 ups. Yeah.
Roll damage.
Uh, 4. So 3.
Yep. 5 up. Dies.
Nice.
Bellicor, we gotta be basing some models here, chat.
5 up.
ABB.
Damage.
Always be basing. Neither of these demon
fly.
characters are preventing these paragons from moving. Oh, but we killed the whole unit. Bellicor! The hard carry Bellicor. Every game, chat. I just released my game against Tyranids where Bellicor killed 2 Hive Tyrants in 2 subsequent fight phases. And, man, every time I think about, like, maybe I should cut Bellicor from my list. He doesn't unlock Warp Storm abilities anymore. I don't know. But every time something like that happens where he just hard carries the team, he rolls like a god. He's so hard to kill. And he just, like, just flips the game on its head. Okay, so we killed 2 units of Paragon Warsuits that turn. Only 1 remaining. The Mortifiers will get to swing back. We'll see if they can drop the Bloodthirster down to a single phase cap. If they can, there's a non-zero chance that this Paragon Warsuit unit with judicious use of Miracle Dice. Unfortunately, we're bad Miracle Pool. Sag will probably get to kill him. So it looks like Bloodletters moving up now. Going to be trying to clear the Battle Sisters and maybe get a tri-point on the Preacher. He does have a Chainsword, but only strength 3, and the T4 on those Bloodletters is going to make things a little tough for him. We'll see if the Bloodletters get through these ladies, though, chat. Every time I've been charged by a Bloodletter unit, they bounce off me. And they don't kill what they charged. But to be fair, I've usually had 10 mans, not 5s. But it turns out, the fact that they're strength 5 and not strength 6 means they win T3 on 3s instead of 2s. And I feel like I would like Bloodletters a lot more if they were strength 6, because they'd be much better against Chaff Infantry. And the problem is they only have 2 attacks apiece, so their attacks are high quality but low volume, so they're not really good against Chaff. But hopefully, it's only Battle Sisters, so we'll get there.
Don't want to kill anything.
Oh my god, that was a horrible roll. Was that 12 misses? Yeah, 6 saves, and we do have a Moment of Grace in the chamber for Ash as well, so we're going to slow roll these out in case we want a moment. Oh no. So 1 model dead. 2 models dead, chat! It continues! It continues! Bloodletters don't kill anything! This unit is garbage! You were told to decide to heroic after it was triggered on the first charge. Yeah, that is clearly wrong. I wonder if the judge was just confused about what happened. Because there's no way that you get the rules that wrong, right? That's just basic turn structure. I think I would have fought that guy. Like, I think we would have had a fight. If a judge came up to me and told me to just like play 40k in a different, like not even like, you know, a house rule or something, just like no, turns work differently now. I'd be like, man, I took a plane here. we're gonna throw fists in the parking lot right now, dude. So Nurgling's going to the Castigator here. I think maybe gonna try to pin it, and maybe keep the Flamers alive from a charge. Unlikely to kill a Castigator with all these attacks, though. It's a lot of winning on 5s and 6s with no AP. Don't know if Demons saved any Warp Storm points. What they could potentially do is have the Flamers do mortal wounds as well.
Scratch. Okay, Battle System. Preacher swings. 4 attacks.
Alright, Preacher. Let's go, bro! Dude, you're about to be a god in Darktide.
Oh, 1 hit.
Well, I guess not in this game. Fails the wound. What a guy.
Battle Sisters. 5.
You only had to drive. Yeah, last time I went to Nova, I drove. I set up a booth, so I had a bunch of cargo to take over.
They're swinging like the Bloodletters.
Multiplier swing.
Yep.
I actually like driving events. I like road tripping. And especially, Nova's like for me anyway, because I'm on East Coast, it's like 7 hours, which is kind of a pleasant drive. It's like a day. But it's not particularly stressful, which is good.
It's 2 damage each.
Oh,
so.
okay. So he'll take the whole 8.
Oh my god, and then we phase cap the Bloodthirster? Oh no, chat! Absolutely brutal. Yeah, that Bloodthirster is about to die a horrific death to Multi-Meltas. So the question here is whether Ash keeps those 2 ladies in combat with the Bloodthirster or just falls in the back and kills it with Multi-Meltas. I think we don't really want to drop the Castigator out of melee, and the Paragon Warsuits want to shoot something. So I think we just pull the Mortifiers out of melee. They are a good kind of flamer battery if you need them to be too. Now, I think a downside for Ash is that the Mortifiers are not great at killing Bellicor. Ash actually doesn't have particularly amazing profiles at killing Bellicor. Maybe the masked Multi-Meltas off the Paragon Warsuits would do it, but she threw the Paragon Warsuits up in front, so they got eaten first. So she's running pretty low on Paragon Warsuit volume. And because Bellicor does have a Trans Hitman in melee for 1 CP, because he's a Slanish
They
demon.
also get -1 combat attrition, so they flee on 3s.
Oh, you. Right.
Oh no, did the Sisters unit just run actually?
Let's take a miracle.
Okay.
They're the two that's useless.
Oh no, the Sisters did not run. Yeah, okay, yeah, we had a 1 and a 2 in the bank there, so we could easily save 1 for sure. And again, Ash not really incentivized to hold on to her bad Miracle Dice because she doesn't have Leap of Faith. Sometimes you see players hold on to them so they can spend them all in 1 turn, and then they get those big turns on Leap of Faith, where they're scoring like 3 points over the course of a battle round, 3 or 4 points, but not this case. So Ash is just going to burn those bad Miracle Dice when she can get value out of them, and in this case she can. Downside is that we do have the Bloodletters wrapped, but it may be that Morphinval just goes in there and try to kill them. Morphinval plus the... Oh, the Dugmata can also start to clear them out with her Mortal Wound ability too. So I wonder if Morven tries to maybe shoot the Demon Prince to death or melee the Demon Prince to death. I don't know if she's going to try to kill Bellicor. Bellicor seems like kind of an unkillable god right now. I think the shooting should kill the Demon Prince, though.
Die.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's the refrain of Blazing Piety. Smites for 3 against Chaos within 12. Going off in the command phase. Ash does also have the ability, if she wants to spend a CP, to use the equivalent of Inspiring Oratory for Adepta Sororitas, which is the name of which I don't remember. But it does give her the option to use that ability in any phase, which means, especially for phase cap models like Abaddon, she has the option any phase that she underswings phase cap, she can spend a CP subsequently and automatically phase cap them for that turn. Very useful against Abaddon, against Catan, stuff like that. It's the reason that Dugmata tech piece is in there, especially since it's going to be sort of in the heart of the brick, the Paragon Warsuit brick, to give them objective secured. So it's always going to be in a relevant position.
Not technically trapped.
Yeah, I think we pulled Bloodletters so that the Battle Sisters could now fall back along this route here. And then the Preacher could maybe go through that gap as well. And that looks like that's what we're going to be doing. Putting objective secured on the objective. Don't know if we actually have attacks to kill the Demonettes. Maybe we can get the Flamers off the Mortifiers in there. But the characters are making these really awkward. I am curious to see where Ash puts her attacks this turn. Because this is a danger of demons, is that they can have kind of a bad turn. And one thing that I always find myself catching myself on is that they can have a bad turn, but their threat overload is such that a lot of times your opponent runs out of attacks to deal with what you have. And even if you underswing for a turn, you can still pull it out. I do think the demons are in the driver's seat right now. As awkward as that turn was for the Bloodthirster, I don't think Eureka's particularly worried about it. You can hear that he's not particularly upset. Paragon Warsuit's moving to the center of the table, actually. They do have an ability that or a stratagem that I think is online right now. And it does base on the number of models in the unit, but I believe it's above 6. They give them exploding 4s in melee. And they do have a pretty reasonable volume of melee attacks already. They're 4 attacks each with their Warblade. Oh, excuse me. It's Blood Arrows only. Just kidding. What am I talking about? Ignore me! So they're just going to be attacking normally. But we can throw Multi-Meltas into the Bloodthirster. And Stormbolters into the Demonettes to try to clip out Stormbolters. Or try to clip out Demonettes. I don't think we're going to kill the whole unit, though. Certainly not with just 3 Paragons with no rerolls.
In line of sight of... Yeah, in line of sight plus range 1. I agree.
Yeah, that's fine. If you want to overwatch one thing,
So I think trying to get charges into the Flamers while eating Overwatch.
If you kill a demon, I guess it might be 2, because the guy in back is also in range.
Yeah, so Ash does have a 5 on a Miracle die. So I think what we're going to be trying to do here is what it looks like to me, is eat the Overwatch with the Dogmata and maybe Miracle the charge. Oh man, this measurement's so weird though because of the engagement range of the 2 characters. Okay, so we're assuming that the Flamers and Morvenn Vahl is going to be enough to kill the Demon Prince. That's going to open up Morvenn Vahl's charge into the Flamer unit. And with her double fight and full rerolls, she should kill the Flamer unit. They only have a 6-up save in melee. God, that puts her in intervention range of Be'lakor, though. It's a little scary. Morvenn Vahl's pretty tanky. I think she can tank up Be'lakor for a turn, but not enough to survive the Be'lakor and I think the subsequent Psychic Phase. I think she dies to Smites. She does half damage, not -1 damage, so she can... Be'lakor is only doing maybe 2 to 3 per swing. So it takes 3 to convert it to kill her. It is 2s and 2s, though, which is a little bit awkward. But we could save Miracle Dice for that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so. Also then. Like that.
This game's been really interesting so far, chat.
Like 9.1 away from
I do appreciate. I mean, I like watching Chaos Demons. I think Chaos Demons are sort of they're a very dynamic army. They have a lot of things going on, which is fun. I mean, that turn 2 punch was really hard. I think Ash is reeling a little bit. Losing 6 Paragon Warsuits and 2 Mortifiers in 1 turn is always not really what you want to see. But obviously, it didn't all go perfectly for Chaos Demons.
Anything at the start of the shooting phase?
Nope.
Yeah, no need to -1 to hit
1
here.
CP, +1 to hit on them.
Mm-hmm.
Meltas here.
Mhm.
On bolted into the Demonette.
Okay. Oh, one of them won't be able to see the Demonettes.
Oh,
That's scary.
You know what? Then all the stun bolters here.
Okay.
Yeah, just going to the Bloodletters. I do like that
Stormbolters.
move. There's a reasonable chance they remove the Bloodletters, but I think killing all of the Demonettes would have been a tall order. They both have a 4+ save against ranged attacks.
Of course. 5 die.
Bolters. Four saves on your Bloodthirster.
Mm-hmm. 3 go through.
Very dead.
He is very dead.
There goes the BT. Yeah, those 2 phase caps with Mortifiers was
Castigate
a
does gonna shoot
disaster
the
for him.
Nedlings.
That is the downside of Bloodthirster. The unit's so strong if you can get it snowballing correctly, but you need really good targets for it, and you need a little bit of good dice. It definitely helps when it can source rerolls from Be'lakor, because the Bloodthirster itself has no way to reroll its own attack rolls. Which does make it a little spiky.
Plus, yeah, only got 3s, 1, so
4 saves.
4 total.
5 ups. That takes 3.
Go to
Sisters are doing an action.
Yep. Multiply, shoot everything in the Demon Prince.
Mm-hmm. Probably not all of them.
Oh.
Which,
Oh,
if
wait,
any of
wait.
them are closer to Bellicor, then they can't shoot the Demon
He
Prince.
did a lookout, so right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. 3.4, 3.5. Okay then. That's absolutely terrible.
Yeah, a bit of a misposition, I think, from Ash, it looks like.
Forgot that he existed.
Forgetting that Bellicor does provide lookouts, sir. He is a character, but he's 20 wounds! No longer that little tiny weedy Bellicor we got from the old Chaos Space Marine Codex.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's big boy Bellicor.
Famous. 18 shots. 18 saves.
Yes. Can I roll that like that for my saves? No, 2 die.
Okay.
So yeah, flames go into the flamers. I think they would be immune to the flames, but no. They're really good at getting killed by flamers.
15.
Just like the rest of the game is being good, is good at
Because
being killed by
you're
Zinchi
toughness.
flamers. Zinchi and flamers are good at being killed by the rest of the game's flamers.
Right. Dogma dogs are a crack grenade at him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're trying so hard to kill this Demon Prince, and I don't think it's going to happen, chat.
Does that one. Wait, no, it does because he's -1 toughness. Yes.
Okay. Saves.
Morven shoots everything at him.
Alright, here's the moment of truth. What do we have for miracles? We have a 5, so we could potentially miracle a damage roll.
Wounds.
Saves.
That demonic invulnerability living up to its name, though.
And bolt does save.
Saves.
Okay. That's how your dice are gonna be. I don't even know how I'm supposed to play this game. Okay. Charges.
Mm-hmm.
Paragons.
Ash does have a penchant for rolling her way out of awkward situations, though. I don't know if she has too much space to complain here. I wouldn't say that the dice have been particularly favorable for one player or another. The saves have been good for demons, but also, I mean, that Bloodthirster got basically killed on its own turn, essentially. And an entire unit of Bloodletters killed a grand total of 2 Battle Sisters and then died. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. Paragon Warseed's getting up in the middle here, getting stuck into the Demonettes. We'll see if they're able to kill them. I don't think that they will, but who knows? The Demonettes are particularly bad in leadership, so we might see them run away. And to be fair, we only have to kill half the unit in order to steal the objective. Because the the Battle Sisters there contribute their own objective secured.
And then the multipliers into the Demon Prince.
Mm-hmm.
This one. 3.
How are we feeling about this game so far, chat? How's everybody doing? I want to thank everyone again for joining us early Friday morning. I know it's an exciting Friday. We got Darktide going on. I'm sure there's going to be some fun events this weekend as well. Is anybody playing this weekend? I got, like I said, I'm working an event this weekend. Not 40k related, though. We're playing some Breachstorm. Exclamation point Breachstorm in chat if you want to check that out, chat, by the way. Super fun gaming project I'm involved in. So yeah, I think trying to keep everybody outside Bellicor's range. We're going to see one Mortifier pile and consolidate to get into on that objective and contest it. Just to lock demons down to a hopefully 5-point primary as long as these demonettes die. Or most of them die, which they should. Although obviously demonic invulnerability is so random. Sometimes you just don't kill them. It's really awkward.
Right. So I have Morven try and chunk down the Demon Prince.
Yep.
6 hits.
Mm-hmm.
If Morven kills here, We won't have to worry about those mortifiers. The Demon Prince, we move the mortifiers around, so coherence is going to be easy.
wounds and
Oh
5
god,
days.
yeah.
Okay.
Should be dead. Let's see. There you go. Exacties. Jesus. Don't overdo it there, bud. Could have slow rolled out of that, I bet, but I don't think it would have mattered. I'm pretty sure these mortifiers
would you
would have
like to
turned him
interrupt?
into a little
Nope.
Okay.
parcel. I think I would have maybe interrupted with the Demonettes here, chat. Because demons have so many freaking CP. 6 CP remaining right now for demons, and we're halfway through the game. That gives the opportunity for the Demonettes to pile and consolidate around the tide here and try to get into these Battle Sisters. This is an aggressive move from the Battle Sisters, but it was because there were Bloodletters on this objective during that movement phase. So, it gives you probably maybe 4 or 5 Demonettes the opportunity to attack the Battle Sisters, and if you have that, then you have an opportunity to kill them. They're not. They get hit a little bit by Armor of Contempt, but they are AP2. They probably kill the Battle Sisters, and then your objective secured steals the objective away, so that you continue to score an 8-point primary. Oh no, we just flubbed out our saving throws here. Jesus Christ. Okay, well. So you would have killed a Sister Squad, but I don't think you would have. You certainly would have steal the objective. Yeah, and that's the demon save dice coming. Tzeentch giveth and Tzeentch taketh away. With the 0 out of 11 5+ demonic invulnerability saves there. Tags the second Flamer unit, so we'll only have one Flamer unit fully operational, although Bellicor will have the ability to teleport them out of melee. You may just want to fall back with this Flamer unit, though, because if you fail or get 4+ denied on that Shrouded step to lock in to unlock the Flamers, then the Paragons will probably just pick them up in the oncoming fight phase. So here comes the Mortifiers moving around just to get coherency, so we get one guy onto the objective outside of engagement range of Bellicor, not allowing him to attack.
He's only worth 1 model, right?
Yeah, he's only one.
Yeah, and that is a downside of demons. Once they're down on the table, they don't matter too much in the corporeal realm, so they are not great at holding objectives. They're low model count, and their objective secured is kind of light. And that is, looks like...
And then you have your...
Gonna be most of the swing, yeah. We just have this little combat in the
And
bottom
some,
bottom right.
And some Paragons.
Oh, yeah.
Into the Castigator.
Did I miss a use of 3 Warp Storm points? Maybe he must have done +1 to cast. Because this is a situation where the 6 is dealing mortal wounds is actually pretty relevant, because you do have a lot of flamers in melee, so it's a big volume of attacks. The flamer attacks aren't great. They are strength 5, which is good, but they have a ton of them. They don't hit very well, and they're no AP, but they have a lot of attacks apiece. So actually, plinking the Castigator slowly but surely. If we get stuck in for all 5 turns of the game, it may actually kill it. They may actually kill the Castigator, unless it kills them in shooting, of course. These guys coming in to punch the Paragon.
Uh, 15 plus 4, 19 attacks. Fours and 5s. No IP.
Okay.
All right.
Blink's a Paragon for 2.
Oh, yeah, sorry. But she had a...
Got him.
To hand out. Only one thing was in range, which was Battle Sisters.
Okay.
Not that it matters right now, but... okay, so... This one...
Morale
Okay.
phase. I'm gonna spend my 5 to resurrect some Bloodletters.
Oh.
Come on, big 3. Big 3. 1.
Okay, they are currently -1 leadership for being within 6 inches of the preacher.
They're auto passing.
Do we? How, do you have 5? Did you roll 7, Sturm? Because you spent 2 on
I
your
rolled
turn,
7.
right? Oh, okay.
Yep.
Wow. All right. Well, fair enough.
And
Makes it a little. That makes it even more weird. We didn't use that +1 attack ability. Chat. We had 7. Oh my god.
That's it.
Dude, I would give my hat for 7 Orb Storm points at any one time. And we don't spend the 4 for the big corn ability. Wild. And we also didn't save for no fallback on the bloodletters there, chat. Yeah, I think it was maybe a miscalculation of our Orb Storm abilities. Getting 1 bloodletter back is probably not gonna be worth 5 wisps here. I honestly wonder if Eureka kind of forgot about them. They're a little bit of... They're so situational, they're a little easy to misremember.
Oh, I think I was supposed to get 3 last turn from killing the 2 characters on the middle objective.
Yeah, for tertiary, because unit on objective did die. But Ash should also get 3, yeah, because she also killed a character on objective. Well, I think we have a game here, chat. Bloodthirster's down. Bloodletter's got vaporized, basically, for all intents and purposes. Unfortunately for Ash, the home objectives, I don't believe, lock. I'm going to double check that, though.
Movement.
I know that's the case for Data Scry Salvage, but I can't remember if it is for Death and Zeal. Downside of Nephilim having special roles for each mission. The mission special roles are pretty cool, but in some situations they're a little hard to remember. Okay, so the objective is locked. So the 3 bloodletters, unless they kill 3 Battle Sisters on objective 5, cannot take it from Ash. But they can clear the objective secured on objective 3 potentially. They can kill 3, or they can go for the Preacher. Either one of those is going to be very valuable. But 2 Flamer units engaged. We've only really seen... We saw 2 Flamer units shoot last turn, and then Ash has been pretty good at mitigating their power on subsequent turns. But Bellicor, I think, is about to become a real problem. Ash does have that Refrain of Blazing Piety to start plinking him for 3 mortals. But you got to get through 20 wounds, and no hit rerolls makes that a little bit awkward. Not to mention the fact that he has the fly keyword, and so this body block doesn't really block him. He can move right over that. And he can maybe try to kill Morvenval and or the Dogmata. Home objective for demons is a demonette unit back here. Just chilling. We could see those push forward, but they don't have any really good targets right now. I think you don't really want to commit them into a big unit of Paragon Warsuits until you're sure you can kill a couple of them. Yeah, they can charge into the Sisters in the center for sure, chat. I think I would... it makes sense that the Bloodletters would go there. I mean, maybe we see the Bloodletters go for 5 and just make it like a 2-turn operation to try to clear that objective. It is a little bit hard to get back there. It's an interesting conundrum. Yeah, I think the problem in this matchup, chat, is that the... you can't really rely on the Shrouded Step to get you out of all your situations, because Ash has her automatic denies, her 6-up auto denies, and a 4+ deny. So there's a lot of failure modes for the Shrouded Step going off, and I think Ash would absolutely burn that 4+ deny. 3 CP left. She's got plenty of CP to spend on it, and she'd absolutely burn that to stop 6 Flamers from shooting at her. I also wonder if the interruption on the Demonettes that previous turn, I think that Eureka kind of played a little fast and loose that previous turn, and I think the interruption on the Demonettes there potentially would have prevented that tag from happening, because he could have based all of the Paragon Warsuits with the models that were engaging them, And then they wouldn't have gotten their pile-in moves. They would have consolidated, but I don't think they were within 4 of the flamers. ABB chat, always be basing. The flamers fall back onto the objective. They go engage the paragons. Flamers shoot them first. Yeah, they can hold the objective with their home stuff. The objective's also locked right now, and that's a little dangerous, obviously, because like one enemy model could go flip it. But because AshC's army is so comprised of vehicles, it's difficult to go through these big walls. The infantry can walk through just fine, but the vehicles have a lot of trouble. You could also sank one flamer unit, like one flamer shooting, and put one flamer on the objective. I do think Ash is holding up CP to inflict mortal wounds on when the mortar fires die, so she can try to start plinking down Be'lakor. It's going to be a really tight mid-game here, chat. I think as much as the last turn was like this huge turn of fighting, I think this turn may actually just decide the game. That last battle round was, I would say, kind of even for the players. Ash lost a ton of Paragon Warsuits, but I think Eureka lost that Bloodthirster when he wasn't expecting to. And his Bloodletters totally biffed. It's been so quiet. It's a very sedate game. This is, I guess we should mention though, this is played on the Oceania time zone, so both these players are late at night.
I'm just gonna aim to.
Thanks, Ash. You mentioned the stream being quiet. Ash has got my back. www. Is anybody expecting like a dot, URL address after that?
Sake. www.
Thank you, Ash. Big thanks to the subs, everybody. So Bloodletters are going for Objective 5. I do like that play, I think. The awkward part, I mean, maybe we try to kill the Battle Sisters in the center with the blue fire off the Exalted Flamer. Or the pink fire, excuse me, the AP2 fire. It is strength 6, it one's on 2s. Only AP2 there, they're saving on 3s. What does our Ash's Miracle Pool look like right now? 5 and a 4. So good saving throws in there if she wants to keep that objective secured alive on that objective. Question here is whether we keep these flamers in melee or fall them back. I think we fall them back, chat. I would fall back these flamers.
Yeah.
I wouldn't rely on the teleport. Oh, we're keeping them in melee.
Psychic.
Oh my god. All these flamers want to do is fall back and then overwatch people.
Be'lakor.
they're just getting stabbed with swords. So
pretty sure it goes off in a 6.
Be'lakor, that's a shrouded stat, it sounds like.
Off.
Yeah, alright. Let's roll 6 here. Oh my god, she natural denies it, chat. Oh! A dagger to the heart of Be'lakor. The Noctic Discipline is sad today. Not even having to spend a CP for that 4 plus a 9. There you go. That's why you don't rely on those powers, chat, when against Adepta Sororitas.
For what?
Ash also adept at rolling that 6 up when she needs it.
Buffing them won't do anything now. So, Smite. Into the Paragons. I guess not.
Favorite tier rolling was when they DQ'd a guy live on stream for using illegal secondaries, found out that they weren't illegal, and undQ'd him, but never realized his list was illegal to begin with. When was that, chat? What event was that? That's amazing. Was that the one with the guy with Abaddon? The Abaddon, it was like the first week that the Abaddon walking the dogs list was popular, and people were taking secondaries, like faction secondaries with it, even though he's an agent of chaos, and retains them unlocked. Be'lakor just standing here, not going for Morven. I guess we did talk about how Morven could probably tank one hit from Be'lakor, but two would be a little bit awkward. It looks like I imagine Be'lakor is going to try to clip these mortifiers, but the Overwatch from them is a little bit scary if he doesn't kill enough.
Okay, since the model died, it'll deal one more.
Bam! Big bolt to change. Just 4 mortal wounds to the Paragon unit. Ouch. What was the problem with the list in that event, chat? I don't remember that.
Shooting.
I remember the secondary kerfuffle. I think I made a video about it.
Just gonna roast other things.
Oh, he took Cypher in the Supreme Command. No, that's not illegality. That's just poorly written rules. It is like the rules like literally don't say whether or not that's legal.
24.
Like one rule says that you can't include Cypher, you can't include non Supreme Commanders in the Supreme Command, and then Cypher's rule says that you can. So like, which one is true? I don't know. 40k doesn't have like a nested rules, nested ability clause, so you don't actually know what sequence they apply in. You don't know which one takes precedence. So looks like Flamer's shooting at the sisters. Clears the objective secured out of the middle objective.
I guess that's getting all of the bad dice out of the way. Holy crap, that was...
I definitely did make a video about that when that happened, chat.
Oh, yeah, don't have
I remember talking and doing a rules video about that.
Both the other things are just shooting at the mortifiers.
So
unless I can see the preacher.
So far,
Don't
it's like Eureka just like forget he could fall back with his models. So far, Flamers have been engaged for basically 3 of his. He has had 3, or at this point 4 Flamer activations. No, 3. 3 Flamer activations have been blocked by engagement, and none of them have fallen back.
Mortifiers. My weapon 6. Of course not. 1 hit. 1 wound. AP4.
Saved.
Okay. And then the Exalted. Ugh, I really want to get rid of one of the Flamers. One of the Overwatch Flamers. So he'll also shoot the mortifiers. And I only need to deal 1 damage, so he's gonna use his Flamer profile. 5 hits. I don't know if that wound's on 4s or 5s. Let me check. Strength 6, so on 3s actually.
AP2, so these
AP2.
are power-ups. Oh, power up. Power up. 5 up, feel my pin. Power up. 5 up, feel my pin. And
Oh
power
my
up.
god!
Wow. Okay.
Dude. Yeah, Ash is dice bailing her a little bit here, I think. Trying to clip a Flamer out from that Overwatch. There's 2d6 Flamer shots you have to be worried about from Be'lakor charging in.
TP Overwatch.
And here comes the Overwatch into Be'lakor. It is on 6s, but he only gets some 4+ save against it, so pretty good chance that they punch through if they convert.
5.
4 up. Take 2.
Yeah, 2 damage is probably worth the CP in this situation. I think Ash is definitely going to spend that CP to do mortal wounds when they die. Yeah, these rolls have been amazing.
That's it.
Ash was complaining about dice a little bit early in the game, but I think that the dice have certainly favored her so far.
So Be'lakor will go first.
Eureka had some good saving throws,
6
but
attacks.
for the most part, Ash's saves and Eureka's poor attacks have been helping her.
Good thing. I can reroll hits, right? It's just the wounds I
Yep.
can't. Yeah.
You can reroll ones against these ones.
Okay. Well, he
Alright,
can't.
so-
So.
And the CP for mortals and death, sorry.
Oh yeah, no problem. 5 saves, AP 4, no invons.
Didn't you? One of these just a hit? Oh,
I,
you
I
rolled
rolled.
one.
I rolled both.
So AP4, no inbounds. So you don't have an inbounds except spend the CP, throw this 2 away. This is 6 up. Nope, damage.
5.
Yeah, so that was a moment of grace to manipulate the save to a point where it manipulate the dice roll to a
Dies.
point where it saved.
And then the
Because
rest
between
of
Armor
the
of
damage.
Contempt, it drops it to
First
AP3,
one deals 5.
and you only need a 4 to save. So that was essentially a 2. You could burn 2 Miracle Dice to get plus 2
2.
and make it a 4.
Next one deals 6.
Dies.
And the last one deals 6.
Dies. Okay, so 3 die.
Alright, well, it was a pretty good swing from
The
Be'lakor.
flails get the fight.
Could actually see the last one run away, potentially, which would be funny.
Yes.
Oh, everyone
but they
fights,
get the
too.
fight. No.
Everyone fights,
Flails.
nobody runs.
I don't know how many dice this is. I'll add after
17.
more. I see -1 in.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's -1 to hit and wound in melee.
Then go in. Nothing. Do I do any mortals?
Ooh,
No.
the mortals did flub pretty hard, though. So Ash had decent saves, but didn't get the swing back damage she was hoping for. I think she pulled herself out of melee. Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Right.
Sure, I would have made that call, chat. You just get attacked for free now.
Yep.
Be'lakor could I guess it does mean if that model survives, then they can charge and
Yep.
stuff, which is, I guess, fine.
I completely forgot to charge the bloodletters.
Oh,
The radius is from Yellow Scribe, chat. There's a video about it in my exclamation point how to play. Yellow Scribe is a little borked right now. I think there are some guides on the Discord server of how to fix it, but you have to go to a specific URL essentially to fix it. I think their
I'll just settle
main
this
website got
Yeah, go ahead.
borked somehow. But yeah, it's a tool that adds scripting to your models. So it adds this this aura we can see here to color the different units differently. It adds the wound calculation, and it imports their profile from your battle scrub file into the TTS. And it adds a bunch all that the radius measurements too.
2 damage each. Okay, kills 1.
Exclamation point how to play again, chat. Is the tutorial playlist.
Okay. Bloodletters.
Bloodletters.
Yeah. Uh, 3 of them, so 7 attacks.
So Ash allowing Eureka to go back here with this bloodletter unit, and they flub again. Only
AP
2.
3.
Not gonna be enough to
Kill
flip the objective.
Nice going, buddies.
Yeah, unless we see some morale happen.
Shit,
But
just take this
killed
one.
one, -1 leadership. Yeah, they still can't
Okay, tank. Whack.
fail.
Yep.
Tank does nothing. Okay, moving on. Your flamers can whack tank.
Nah. 11. Or 10, sorry. Five. 1 save.
Fine. Battle Sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Within half of half. Okay, so this one just can't go quite that far. 4 of them, so that's 6 tanks.
Yep.
Hitting on 3s because you charged me. And wounding on 4 5s.
Mhm.
2 saves.
Alright. To die.
Our faith is our shield, bitch.
Good job, Battle Sisters.
I'll leave the. I guess the sergeant and the instrument end up being the same thing.
We were having big discussions about Bloodletters yesterday, and I feel like my poor opinion of them is being validated right now by this Bloodletter unit being absolutely useless. Just a whole lot of nothing from this unit.
Okay. I'm just gonna wipe the Paragons. I think that's.
Ah, yeah, the flamers can try to attack the Paragons. How many left? 5? 12 plus 4, 16.
Go get him, Flamers. You are strength 6 this time.
T5 or 6?
5.
Forwards.
Kills one? Oh my god.
Got a
Chet.
guy. Go Flamers.
Jesus Christ.
Swing into Bellicor.
Yep.
I think that has Eureka forgotten to pile and consolidate? Because you could consolidate and tag this objective to contest it. We're giving up free VPs, chat. I think Ash's proper play of the movement of the fight phase here is really gonna help her out.
That's everything, I think.
Put those flavors on the objective. No, chat. Brutal. They could touch it. They could go 3.
More bloodletters.
Could each go 3 there and there and touch the objective, and then there's 2 to 2, and Ash doesn't score it.
The big 3, and then Bellicor.
VPs left on the table go to me. Oh my god, chat. I'd have so many VPs if every VP that was, if every like unforced error was gave me victory points, I would win every game. Are those VPs I get to use in my next game of 40k?
Multipliers.
If so, I'm going to an RTT. I'm going to win some money.
Okay.
I went to an RTT recently, chat, by the way. I might win this game. Yeah, that's fair. I went to an RTT recently that gave its usually like you go to an RTT, at least in my area, you go to an RTT, all the prize money goes into a big pool, and then they split the pool between the winners, right? For store credit. So you get store credit to the store, you get some free models. It's like whatever. That's how I bought most of my demons. But at this RTT, they just took all the prize support and they just divvied it up as cash. So I just got a wad of cash for winning an RTT recently, which is just kind of nice. So all right, eat dinner for free for a bit, I guess. It's theoretically more financially, you know. It doesn't feel as good as winning free models for whatever reason, but it is theoretically more useful. But it felt pretty under the table. It was like an unmarked blank envelope full of cash, basically. Hilarious. So Ash gets a 12 there because those flamers didn't use combat moves. That's going to haunt me for the rest of my life. And I wonder if it will haunt Eureka, too. I wonder if Eureka goes back and watches this game and realizes that he forgot to combat move there because that Paragon died. We have one more, 2 individual mortifiers left. Looks like we're going to be pushing. I wonder if we push for, looks like we're going for a charge in these flamers. Can't miracle the mortifiers. We can't just hope for the big charge. Because the flamers are already engaged, the Paragon is going to prevent them from overwatching, which is going to be useful. Bellicor is engaged right now, but we're going to fall back that mortifier and just use it to continue to contest the objective. Yeah, this primary objective score is really running away from Eureka. He also has not despoilered any objectives because his units have died. So that might get a big goose egg for him. And I think Ash is basically taking away this game. There's a non-zero, there's a universe where Morph and Fall and the characters like go down to Bellicor, and that's not enough to prevent him from winning. And the mortifier not standing on the objective. Okay, well, so that's a mood. If we knock demons down to another 4-point primary turn, I'm not sure how they come back. There's a fungible trainer tournament. For sure.
Paragon shooting at the flamers. Delta, nothing. Three saves on your flamers.
One goes through.
Sisters shoot the bloodletters. Threes. And fours. Two saves on your bloodletters.
Yeah, Eureka has been really reticent
they're
to
dead.
spend command points. There's been some situations where he could have used interrupts and things
Get wrecked, con.
for a big
Yeah,
deal,
they,
but for a big benefit. But he's not used
Consistently
that.
bad every game.
Well, then it's gonna shoot.
I bet those bloodletters would have been better if we'd +1 attack them on last turn. The fact we didn't +1 attack, or the turn before last, on turn 2. The fact that we didn't +1 attack will be flabbergasting forever to me.
Bolters. Going. Ending on threes. Three saves on the flamers.
Okay.
Oh my god, and
Nice,
these
nice.
saving throws are so bad, Chad.
And rockets.
These flamers have consistently taken
100
damage
T.
from like every attack.
The
that
flamers are
puts into
T4.
them.
Okay, then I'll do frag. For 4 shots.
Theoretically, that had to be declared beforehand, but
Three
I think that's
saves.
okay.
1 damage.
Kill the guy. The bolter was 2 damage, so it killed that first one and it spilled 2.
True.
You
I didn't
failed-
have any that were wounded.
Yeah, you failed 3 saves, right?
I failed. Oh, I failed 3 saves. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, then this guy dies.
Can confirm that happened. That's wild,
How many
actually.
did I fail?
No, he doesn't take damage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So shooting, basically just clipping an entire flamer unit there.
Okay, and then these skulls are gonna shoot the snuggling. Got shots. Four saves.
1 wound left.
Try and castigate to shoot flamers.
Yeah.
Fours. And threes. 5 saves.
3s. Oh, they're kind of dead. Where did I fail? Oh, sorry. 2 damage each, right?
Yep.
So he's gonna do 1.
The most epic duel. How many points has 6 flamers?
That was 5.
Oh, how many
That was the
points
5
have
man.
flamers?
125 points.
Math checks out.
Yeah, so there's 135 points dueling 125.
Exactly. That's why I've left them there.
Okay, did I kill any? Oh, I did kill something. Bloodletters died.
Yeah, the bloodletters died.
Generate recall. 6. Okay.
Mhm.
Charges.
Yep.
Morven cannot quite get all of them. Okay, Morven will just charge these 2.
Yeah,
Right,
weird situation where you actually
Overwatch
overwatch
with
the
the
exalted, yeah. It's TD6 shots, winning on 3s. Pretty good chance of doing something to Morbin. Well, maybe not with 5 attacks, though, to be fair.
Strength 6, so I'm winning on 3s.
Your half damage does nothing here. Take that.
1.
Can I reroll against her?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'll
But
reroll the
isn't he a
2-1.
character?
Oh, yeah, he's not core. So he doesn't reroll anything.
She needs 6. 5 or 6. Yep, we'll just take a 9.
Yeah.
She goes up here. Ish.
So Miracle the charge into
and then the Dogmata will charge.
the Exalted
the
Flamer and the
Flamers in the middle.
Pyrocaster.
Yep.
Should grab us an assassination point, and yeah, she's already gotten 2 characters so far. Has she? Oh yeah, the Demon Prince, duh. Of course.
And then the Battle Sisters will charge the Nugling.
Yep.
And roll incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
Off. You should all get to be within half a path. What they would if this piece of terrain wasn't buggy as hell. Actually, she can step back a bit, I think. Just barely. Right, there are 3 models on the point. Okay. Fights. We'll start with the Dogmata, who is going to bonk the Flamers.
Yep.
She has 3 attacks, I believe. Yep.
So there is interrupts here, but nobody is useful as in melee. I mean, maybe you interrupt with the
hits,
4
Explosions, running on 3s, 3 1s.
Don't think it makes that much of a difference. Everything's got 2 plus
2 damage
save.
each.
Kill 1. Yep, kill 1.
Not wounded. Okay.
Right, Morven swings. 3 attacks here, 2 attacks there. Actually, sure. Consolidate. 5, 4. Up to here. Okay, yeah, 3 attacks there, 2 attacks. There's a 3 attacks into the Exalted. It has how many ones? 5. 3
5.
attacks into the Exalted. Rolling. 3 hits, winning on toughness. Base
5.
toughness. So, okay,
Base
so
is
I'm winning
5.
you. Alright, so I'm winning you on 2s because you're -1 toughness, right? So 3 saves.
Okay.
And
Next one.
1 mortal.
Set 4, and then 2 damage each.
3 damage each.
3 damage each. Yeah.
And then 2 into the Flamer.
Mostly the expected
bullshit.
result when Warlord
Both wounds and a mortal.
Mormon Law gets into here. 6 of save characters.
Okay. Dead.
She will shuffle back. Punch the Nurgling.
Yeah.
Pause.
So we are allowing demons an 8-point primary
Pause, I
turn.
don't know. He saves.
But we have killed enough stuff that I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. The fact that demons are basically now down to Bellicor, Fate's Gamer, and 10 Demonettes, the rest of the army has been effectively neutralized.
Okay.
Means that I think we're basically
Go into the
done.
Paragon with the Flamers.
The Mortifier is slightly more difficult to kill than the Fate Skimmer can reasonably deal with. So Bellicor may have to go back and deal with that if Eureka doesn't want this objective contested. But also, I think Eureka really wants Bellicor to be going other places.
Back. 5 attacks.
Yeah, can't stop the bots, chat. Not even Slanesh bots. We're not even on YouTube today. Revolt Radio, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it.
T3 right now, so winning on 2s. Rolling 1s. 5 saves.
Dead.
Any of them injured? Oh, yes.
Yeah,
one's
one of them's injured,
Yeah,
so they're
okay.
dead.
Yeah, there goes the
Yay.
Flamers as well. Whoa. That was
We did
brutal.
it.
That was a brutal swing back turn, chat. I think I did mention that while the charges last turn were important, I think this how the players operate this turn was going to be actually what determines the game, and I think we've determined that it is going to be Ash taking it down. We do have a lot of bring it down to a score for the Chaos Demons, so the scores aren't particularly accurate right now. I think we have killed many a warsuit.
saves.
Is that 8 paragons and 5 mortifiers? Right, so it should be 13 bring it downs scored. So it should be 46-44, but from here we get 8 points in the Chaos Demon side, and Ash is going to continue to tick up. Secondary, especially she scored 3 in assassination that turnarounds. And we're gonna only down to 1 flamer here fighting the Castigator. The battle sisters are going to start to complete their Sacred Ground actions now that people aren't holding the objective. And we have a wash of mortifiers to jump on into the remainder of these demon units. Oh, I know, chat. I know.
Okay.
Right.
I know that we're talking about the robots on the table, not the robots in the chat.
This is hold 2, right? So I actually hold 2 this turn. Yay!
Woo!
No, and I generate 2 for defensive.
So let's see. How does Eureka get out of this situation? I think.
I didn't. No,
I think we
no,
basically
you killed the
have
Nurglings. They were on objective,
to.
And you killed the.
Yeah.
We have to push and kill everything this turn. I'm not
Oh,
sure
but
we
you
can
lost
kill these
just
2
one.
mortifiers.
Oh, I
It's a little
see.
bit scary. And I'm not sure we can kill this mortifier. So the problem is the mortifiers right now. It is possible for Eureka to kill the Morphin Ball and the Dogmata and the Paragon Superior in the center with the Demonettes and Bellicor. The problem is that he doesn't have anything in the back to deal with that last mortifier. So I think that Ash keeping that far away is going to be actually pretty useful instead of contesting the objective. I almost wonder if the Fate Skimmer just goes for a big charge on it and try to kill it and then consolidate back to the objective. As bad as that sounds. It does have 6 malefic attacks from its screamers. 2 damage attacks. Could potentially kill it. No, looks like we're going to try to hold the objective with the Fate Skimmer. Push out the Demonettes. Yeah, we have literally 4 units remaining for demons, which is why this is getting so difficult. It's a lot of points represented because 2 of them are characters, but it's only 4 actual units, and 1 of them is engaged in melee. Skimmy super smites the Dogmata. Bellicor aces Morven and the Mortifier in combat. Yeah, the problem is that you then lose the Demonettes to the other Mortifier unit, and this Mortifier unit steals your objective, right? So Ash gets an 8 and locks you to a 4 on the final turn, and then Ash probably gets a 12. So I think the issue isn't like Bellicor killing all of the sisters that are left, because he certainly can. It's difficult for sisters to interact with him. He's not taking any damage. The Mortifier is totally flat last turn. But the downside is that there's very little chance of Ash not being able to get those primary points that she needs. I think this gimme needs to super smite this Mortifier basically, and then the Demonettes kill the Dogmata, and Bellicor kills Morven and the Paragon Superior. Yeah, I think that's where we need to go. I mean, the Fate Skimmer's right. He's got a gun. He's got the Staff of Change, and he could potentially charge. Although the 14-inch movement looks a little tough. But we've already moved everybody. We're gonna. I think Eureka's sort of seen the writing on the wall here. And if Eureka doesn't kill everything in melee with Bellicor and the Dogmata, or if he doesn't kill everything in melee with Bellicor, he doesn't hold the objective, right? Because it would be 2-1 unless the Demonettes get there. Which they did, I guess, so it's fine.
No,
Or
it
not.
doesn't.
Continually denies.
And then the Doom Bolt, the Dogmata.
I guess you could also go for
Also goes
a
off.
cheeky Shrouded Step or something to take a different
This
objective.
is D3, flat 3.
Maybe.
This is 9 dice, deals 1 for each 5 or 6.
Yeah, doesn't that ball of change?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
You said
I said Doom
Bolt.
Bolt. I don't have that power. That's 1,000 Suns power.
I don't know. Okay, damage. The inch powers are whatever. You say a
They
thing.
all have
and-
similar names. 5.
She takes 3.
Okay.
Dogmata survives the smites. It's still shootable
Bellicor.
though, so there's a non-zero chance she dies to the shooting.
Well, I don't know what it's even closer right
You
now.
might as well smite with
Morphin
Bellicor,
Fall.
right?
Let's smite Morphin Fall.
Well, chat, this was an interesting game.
Goes
I do think Eureka played a little fast and loose. Got it very aggressive with the Flamers, got them all touched early. And in this matchup, it's so awkward to get them extricated from engagement because the 6-up at 4+ denies.
Alright.
Oh, excuse me. Ooh, it's too early for this. The 6-up and 4+ denies on the Shrouded Step are super brutal. But I do think we are going to be seeing Ash get out of this pod 3-1. I have 2 3-1s, but her tiebreaker should be better. So I believe that she will get first place. Unless some weirdness happens here. Demon's currently in the lead, but that's because Ash hadn't scored primary yet.
Okay, so
Yeah, there's the bring it down scored out.
stuff in the middle. And the 1 mortifier all on the edge.
We'll see what Delacour does this
Squad of
turn.
2 mortifiers. Nothing. Paragon.
Using the corn ability to do mortal wounds again.
3.
Hey!
Next one.
Playing some Paragon
Okay.
Warsuit. Makes it easier for Bellacore to kill now.
Preacher.
Means a converted attack from Bellacore will automatically kill that.
Morvenval.
Do have a bunch of 5s from Miracle Dice though, so you
Black
do actually have to overcommit to kill the Paragon
and
Warsuit.
mortifier.
Downside too, if you don't kill the Paragon Warsuit with Bellacore, the Digmata, and you don't kill the Digmata just points at it and it steals the objective back.
One.
Okay. And then the Fate Skimmer. Dogmata's closer. Shoot the Dogmata.
Yeah, if we kill the Digmata here, that would be a big deal. Let's get it done. Turn off that objective, the potential for objective secured on that objective, or easy objective secured until these battle sisters move up closer.
Nice, come on. Okay. 2 hits. 1 wound.
AP4.
AP4.
6-up. He's fine.
Alright.
Ah, almost clipped the Digmata.
Charges.
Yeah, the Fate
Bellacore
Skimmer
going
is
into
really
Morvenfall
long,
and,
chat,
Paragon.
so you can see along
Okay.
this line. Fate Skimmer is like a huge model. It's physically enormous.
He's in. Demonette's going into the Paragon. Do I even need to do that? Yeah, I guess Paragon and.
Yeah, I also called out the Nearest, chat.
I'm very sure I do. Not
Psychic Interrogation is a little bit scary because there's only 2 Psychers in the Demon Army, so you're losing a lot of efficiency for taking it. But I actually do like the Nourished by Terror for sure. It's like a 50-50 every time you kill a unit to potentially score, and even better if Bellacore does it. It's not like super good, but you know, you might 10 it. Yeah, the Skimmer is fucking huge for sure, chat.
yeah, that's everything.
All right.
Fighting.
So Demonette's going on in. Ash does have interrupt CP, so you have to be
We'll
careful
fight
where we
Bellacore
attack.
first.
Yeah, go with Bellacore. Just see if we can clip that Paragon.
Okay.
So that the Demonettes don't have to worry. That Despoiler's being a goose egg, though, is a little bit awkward. And I think that was
3 into each.
definitely a pick that I think Eureka was sort of, you know, showing his hand that he wanted to table Ash's army. It just didn't happen. So it looks like we've split 3 and 3. Paragon Warsuit goes down, but now it's Morvenval.
3 into
She does have a
Morvenval.
5-up save against the sword, and we have a lot of 5s you can use.
3 hits.
Big 2s there. CP reroll one of those, please.
2 wounds.
Eureka, you have command points, my man.
AP4. No infon.
What is happening right now? Yeah, just auto pass, I think.
Just roll, take a 5 for the second.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
Morven's
Okay.
gonna save one of those
So what's the
automatically
damage?
and survive. Saving it for the next game for sure. Oh my
5.
god, Chad.
So half for 3.
Has Eureka legitimately has he spent any command points? It's been
Right,
ticking up, and he's stayed at 6 for like the whole game, but I don't know where he's putting them
That's
because
again.
I don't
can
see him
only talk
rerolling
about it.
anything. Yeah, that's Case of Fate. Yeah, he saves his Warp Storm points to the next battle round, and if it's the last battle round of the game, he actually saves it to the next game. If only. Could you imagine like keeping track of those mechanics at 40k? That'd be a nightmare. It was like all those old games. There's
So,
what was it?
7 times
There was
4, 20 attacks.
Golem Arcana, and there was another one. It was like Elysium or something. That were miniature games that had like legacy mechanics that would track. But they tracked on like a website. They tracked electronically. But you could show up to a game store and somebody just like, I don't know, like input a bunch of like fake games with their stuff to get all their stats really high. It seemed like so easily like cheatable. Yeah, basically Crusade rules for sure.
PCP, I throw away 2 miracles. You'll come back. Okay, that was 2 ones.
But it's like, yeah, I don't know. Crusade rules is like change your army roster, but imagine like keeping track of like resources and stuff. So, gonna try to keep the Dogmata alive on a 4. Morphin Vol gets to swing. Not engage. It looks like we're trying not to engage her with the Demonette so she doesn't get to swing. And she's based with Be'lakor, so she can't pile in. So just putting everything to Be'lakor. She does full reroll right now, but she can't reroll her hit rolls, just the wounds. Oh, yeah, there's a... And we could have trans-hitman here, but we didn't do it. 1 wound goes through, clips to a mortal wound as well.
Goes through.
Okay, so 4 damage to 3 damage to
I'm just looking at these 6 command points here, chat, and I'm like, what are we doing? What is the idea? I don't get it.
2 saves. 1 more mortal.
Yeah, might get blanked on Sacred Grounds. Does Sacred Grounds complete at the end of the game? Does she get 1 for free, potentially, with the Battle Sisters? It's not really enough stuff to kill the Battle Sisters, so they break cover right now.
Back up over here.
And her home objective is locked, and I don't think there's a really good opportunity for Eureka to steal it.
Right. Okay. So I'm holding 2. Oh, right. Sacred Grounds finishes on both sides. I should be on 7. I was holding that, so it should be on 9. Yes. Morven throws this on to... I'll roll for stuff first. Psychic immunity from the creature to self. For him on himself. Go off.
Yeah, feedback might be me, chat. I know OBS likes to crackle a little bit for whatever reason.
So Mata is going to pass smite.
See if I can filter it too.
Off. 3 wounds onto Be'lakor.
Okay.
Alright, does that sound a little bit better, chat?
Off. Turn Miracle.
Turned a gate on.
Okay. Oh, we forgot to do this. This epic fight.
Oh.
3 swings into your Flamer.
Go ahead.
Nothing. Okay, Flamer swing back.
Alright, I'll keep that on, chat.
1 hit.
Thanks for the feedback.
No.
I see. Okay. Okay, right.
Yeah, I think it's probably literally because my computer fan is on my desk next to me here. I think it might literally actually just be my computer fans. Obviously streaming's pretty intensive. So the Dogmata does come back.
Mortify will advance, just move 9 here.
Ash gets an 8 on primary.
Should be at the unchargeable spot.
Oh, yeah.
Demons.
Okay.
The only thing I could fit in there would be Demonettes.
Currently threatening an 8 on primary, but if the Mortifiers kill this unit, I think that's fine. The Dogmata, if she obsects herself, can steal the objective. Oh no, she's gonna go to objective 2. Yeah. Makes sense. See ya. Bye, Dogmata.
Cassis, move up. So kind of more.
Eureka now,
All this.
3 total turns to use to play. It has 7 CP left. So we have to spend 3 CP per player turn for the rest of the game to spend through all of these.
Consent to anyway. Actually,
So Mortifier is pushing around to objective 1. I think we're hoping to kill the Demonettes with the flamethrowers. We could pay for fallback and charge on Morbin, right?
Okay.
Holy Rage. Stratagem? Has to be next to the priest to do that. Oh.
The other sister squad to advance. Hit. Touching the terrain within 9 of the thing. Okay. The squad is move up outside of doing the 1-inch thing. Bellico can't come and snipe them somehow. But also being within 9 of the objective. The middle.
Okay, so it looks like Sacred Grands did complete on 4 and 3. And Ash has the potential to try to complete it on one of the future objectives.
Okay, shooting modifiers into Demonettes.
See if we can flamer the Demonettes here. Scary.
Uh, 15.
Could kill them.
Objectives.
Oh, yeah. Only 5.
Eight. Yeah. Castigator shoots everything into the.
Pew pew pew!
They continue the deadly ballet of death. 19 shots. Roll 1, 2. Come on.
We talk about how janky these Pyrocaster models are. Right?
He dies.
Goodbye.
Cassie
The Castigators finally won! Finally won that fight. Literally 4 battle rounds went by while Castigators in melee. Those Flamers never fell back.
End of shooting, Miracle. That's a 1. Charges, multipliers, charge Demonettes. Fail. CP that, I guess. They make it.
Oof. So used our CP to get the Mortifiers back in there. I wonder why the Mortifiers pushed so far that way. Actually not sure.
Okay, and when the creature will charge the Demonette.
So that should kill the Demonettes. Just have to make sure nobody gets in Bellicor's intervention range. Bellicor did take a chunk from Morven Ball.
You can't do a 6-inch, right?
I can't.
Okay.
Just 3.
Alright.
So that clips the Demonettes. We should be down to a 4-point primary turn for Eureka, so he'll go to 62.
Go to,
no option to despoil
right.
it anywhere. Excuse me. Oh my god. We could warp portal the Fate Skimmer to get a Reality Rebels.
So that's 10 attacks.
You probably get Reality Rebels up to 10. And then call it there. Maybe kills a unit. I assume Bellicor kills a unit objective. Maxes bring it down.
2 die.
So I think what we're looking at for Eureka
4 die.
Is
I'm gonna say if only 2 died,
32
then they should
primary?
have been more dead from shooting.
plus 25 secondary, so 57, 67. So I think he gets 9 more points. That's not enough to catch
Points.
Ash. So Ash should be the victor here.
Yeah, would you like to interrupt?
Nope.
Okay.
Flamers do look janky in melee, but this one is like
5 attacks.
this Pyrocaster. Let's take a look at this little guy right here. He's like he's like 7 polygons. Look at this weird thing. I like it. It has like rock hard abs on its tail. And then like I don't know, the arms are like a big hexagon. Easy cuter.
Yep.
Yeah, look at his little pinchy face, little pinchy chest face. Yeah, this is a 3D scan of the actual model for sure. They look a little silly.
Alright. Let's get this.
I have 3D printed flamers. I think I like them a little bit better.
3 for defensive.
They have abs in real life, do they? Look at the models. That's because they're like so powerful. Oh yeah, look at them. Look at their little abs. It's because yeah, I mean flamers work out, dude. That's how they attack D6 plus 3 times a piece. I actually kind of like the introduction of flamers into the metagame, honestly, chat. Do I want to share my file? Yeah, I can show you my file. Let me pull it up, bro. It's a Gomek file. Search for it real quick. Oh, that's not what I want. So it's these guys. It's a Gomek. They're called Pyro Demons. If you just if you look them up on either Gomek's website or the My Mini Factory, you'll find him. But he's like a little flamey dude. It fits the same profile as a flamer, but it's I don't know, it's a little bit less silly looking.
Check real
I'm pretty happy with them. They fit on a 32 mil base, so they're the same size as a flamer. When you print them out, you don't have to rescale them. I think they work out pretty well. I like them. Dr. Rhino, chat, how's it going? Daily reminder that I'm handsome. Thank you. Any files for Demon Princes? Demon Princes are so open-ended, chat. You could use almost anything as a Demon Prince. Like, so I use
Okay.
I use Archvillain games for, I did for a lot of my graders. I ended up just buying the models with price support and stuff. So I have most of my graders as
Start with
the plastics now. But Archvillain games, let me show the ones that I use, are pretty good. Like these guys are solid. I like this one. This is a set, so it's a $12 file, but you get all of the it's like 4 different poses. I like this one, and I like this one. These are my favorite. But I think they print out for a 50 mil base, so they're like Demon Prince scale if you don't rescale them. I scaled this one up. That's my Bellacore. Right now, but there's like a bunch of different poses you can see, obviously. So I like those ones. And Archvillain Games has a ton of like demonic and kind of like creepy stuff. So if you just have a troll through their file set, because they have like a ton of really good files, and they have some ones that are a little bit more classic. They have like a big Lord of Change guy. Like here's a big Lord of Change dude that I can't open for some reason. Here he is, like a big bird with a stick and a sword. So they have some more purpose-built ones for sure.
Outrange, not full basic cover.
Use a Nurgling on a huge base for Demon Prince.
Okay.
Back in the day,
Sisters.
when I first started 40k, I was like doing joke models, and I made a Ripper. I gave a Ripper Carnifex arms because I was like a kid and I thought it was funny looking. And I was like, he's a Carnifex. Then I played it. I went to a game store, played him, and people were like, can't really do that, dude. I put him on a huge rock, so he was the same size as a Carnifex. I was like, his name's Happy. He's a Carnifex. And people are like, is he? But I don't know, whatever. I was like 14. I think they gave me a pass. It was pretty stupid. I think I still have that model.
Fires of Corn.
So it looks like the Burning Rage. We've used that 3 times so far. We've used almost all our Warp Storm points in the D3 Mortal Wound Warp Storm ability. Finally killed the Digmata, which is kind of funny. I think that maybe cuts a Sacred Ground. Not that it really makes a huge difference. Need a pick of Happy? Yeah, 8 CP chat. Eureka forgot command points were part of this game. Maybe it's like maybe Eureka was one of those people in my like reading bad reviews video who was like railing against the stratagem system. He's like, CP command points are stupid. I never want to use them, so I will just pretend they don't exist.
Bellicor going into Mortifiers and the Preacher.
Okay.
Oh yeah. This guy from this is like I think that's an Arc Villain model. It's named something similar to like Kairos too, right? It's like Rakatos or something. Like, okay, I get you. I see what's
All
up.
of his attack. I kind of want to take the objective.
The Lords of Change are so funky because Voldrick, yeah. Oh, because he's a vulture.
One attack,
That's why.
I do.
One
attack into the Preacher. All the rest in the Mortifiers.
Go get him. Go get him, Bellicor. We believe in you. The Lord of Change like model is so it's like visually very cool, but it's like conceptually super weird because it goes into the Siege aesthetic like a little too far, I think. I kind of like just the normal vulture demons that are like kind of reminiscent of old Lords of Change. The old Lord of Change is a terrible model though, to be fair. But
is less too now. He's 11. Is that still enough to twos?
Yep.
Dude's posted his DP in
One at a time damage.
First one.
oh my god, you do actually have a Nurgling as your demon prince. He's so cute.
Bye.
What an adorable little man.
Dies.
Do you have like a herald that's just the one with the little helmet?
There's one left.
The Death Guard one that's like got the little hat on, and he's got his like arms on his hands on his hips.
No.
That's a legit good demon prince, dudes, for sure. So Bellicor doing the Dark Lord's work here. Kills everybody on objective 3. Scores out to bring it down, so we will max that.
That's my turn.
No despoilers though. And I think we're just setting up so that Ash is Morbid Vol's gonna turn a Fate Skimmer into a Fine Mist. Should be up to 10 for reality.
67.
Tank move here.
Mhm.
Battle Sisters here. Advance. So reroll my miracle. It is a 5.
Are we up to 10 for reality rebels this turn? You had 8 and you scored 2 this turn, right?
I only scored 1 this turn.
So Bellicor's worth 1, and then
He's worth 1,
and then the Fate Skimmer. If you tie, you get the table quarter. So the Fate Skimmer and more
Okay.
score you 1. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
right,
they have to have
10.
more units in you quarter for you to stop you. Thinking of having Nurglings riding Bellicor. Have like Bellicor has all these skulls, right? Like hanging on chains. Just have the like Nurglings be hanging out in the chains.
Yep.
That would be cute.
Tank shoots Bellicor.
Yep.
Or just make a Bellicor out of Nurglings, right?
Or is no...
Like hundreds
right,
of Nurglings
so
in the
it's
shape of
3d6 reroll.
Bellicor.
Mhm.
That's the real Chad move there.
And
And the same for the Bloodthirster, you know?
one wound.
Saves.
Both shots. Pause.
So Ash looks like holding the center objective here just to spite her opponent. Already has 3 objectives, right?
Saves.
Yeah. I actually need that one.
Everything with Bellicle.
Although I think it scores out the Death and Zeal.
She'll shoot her bolter at the other thing.
Belchor.
Then it's the Fate Skimmer. Strength 6.
Takes 2, right?
Yep. And
Mhm.
then rockets into Bellicle. Should be winding on force. Yep.
Wounding on force, yeah. I'm just gonna reroll one of those.
Okay.
Alright, one goes through.
Alright, well, I'll just take a 6.
Alright, takes 5.
Slam his face into the dirt. Charge. Morven charges 10.
Yeah.
Swing the Fate Skimmer.
Goodbye, Fate Skimmer.
I'll spend one of my 8 CP to try to Overwatch.
Okay.
I missed.
Eureka has remembered that Overwatch exists. I'm proud of him, honestly. He's come a long way at this game. He's learned how to use stratagems, and that's like a big skill at 40k.
Nice did.
There you go. That should be game chat. Just Bellicor, standing strong. Did take a ton of damage from random stuff, but didn't quite die.
Yep.
And Ash on all the objectives.
GG.
Throughout the turn.
GG.
Well, that's it, chat.
Giving you a single point for the spoilers.
Nope.
You know what? I'm gonna be generous and give you an extra point on defensive.
Where did I get that from? Oh, because you want to give me 6.
Well, GG, everybody.
I probably missed a point on Reality Rebels at some point because I was only counting for things I had more.
Oh, yeah.
Let's say we'll get 69.
Yeah, it's like a weird one. Yeah, it scores unless your opponent has more, and as long as you have at least one. Yeah, good game. 7 command points is probably the most I've seen remaining in a pool at the end of game.
Got no good strats.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's some interrupts in there. I think we could have seen that might have been impactful. You know, it is what it is. Having 7 CP at the end, like that's the victory in and of itself, I think. If you just look at the command points tracker, you're actually winning. So that's good.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, Ash, congratulations on the win. I'll go ahead and put everybody's scores in.
I wasn't even undefeated.
Y'all should be y'all should be all set.
Yeah,
I think your tiebreakers should be high enough, though, right? Yeah. It's
now we're both X1. You beat me, so you should have the better tiebreakers.
the weirdness of small events for sure.
Yeah.
That was a little boring.
Yeah, my only loss was also very close, so my battle points is super high.
Yeah, that was a mirror match, right?
I think it was like 266 because I lost like what, it's 80 something to 70. Like it wasn't like neck and neck close, but it definitely wasn't a blowout.
It was a high scoring loss. Cool. All right. Well, thanks you two. That was a fun one to watch.
Now, I will never play this Quarantine Prince in my list again.
He was doing well at making saves, to be fair.
That's pretty good.
That was the one thing he was doing.
But he usually got in and killed something less than his points and then died every single round.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's interesting. He doesn't have wings. And then I went to the Demon Prince data sheet. I was like, oh, it costs 35 points. Just kidding. I understand. Yeah. I get it now.
Oh
my god!
Not making him Nurgle. Even a Nurgle Demon Prince would have been better because I was really missing out on a third Psyker to do psychic actions.
Yeah, for sure.
Good Trippy. How did chat like the epic fight going down over here?
With the tank.
Yeah, we certainly play-by-played that fight the entire game.
I mean, I'm only 125 points, so I was fine.
Yeah, just don't shoot. Just don't shoot anything important, actually. All right, so your score is in. Should be all set. So thanks, you two.
All right.
I think that is the first time I have used the Castigator to tie up a model for a unit for more than a turn.
Worked out.
Yeah, the Castigator has tied up a Flying Hive Tyrant before.
Good job, Cassie. Pro boss.
Yeah. Hive Tyrant charged the Castigator, rolled 4 1s and 2s for Win rolls and couldn't
Yep,
reroll.
yep, no rerolls. Correct. Brutal. All right. Cheers. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Bye.
All right. I just it was a little abrupt there, chat, but I do have to wrap things up pretty quickly here because it's a lot to do today. We just got Necron's Necron Army of Renown, and I have to do a video on it before I leave this evening. So it is time to go. I will look for something in Warhams. I might, if I have time before I leave today, chat, I am going to play some Darktide. Looks like we do have a little bit of Darktide streaming, a lot of Darktide streaming, in fact. So if you want to come hang out with me later, do that. I will probably stream Darktide tomorrow morning as well. I'm gonna be out and about tomorrow, but I think that I'll take some time out of my busy day to play some Darktide. Let's see if anybody's streaming Darktide. Let's see who's the top Darktide streamer. Excessive Profanity. We'll go there. It's the one that's not a weird VTuber. Just got your code? Hell yeah, dude. Dude, so we playing? Let's play, man. All right, everybody. We'll go watch some Darktide for now. Stay tuned. There's going to be a Necron video probably in the next couple, I don't know, hour or two, depending on how long it takes me to record it. And then we'll do some Darktiding and stuff. Cheers, everybody. Have a good one.